while you're counting down the days until the Grand Theft Auto trailer, you can help pass the time by listening to a Slice of Gaming podcast for December 1st, 2023. I'm your host, Moonlight150, and we'd like to thank you for giving a slice of your time to a Slice of Gaming podcast. Be sure to tune in on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Rest in Peace, and Audible. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at A Slice of Gaming and our sister show at A Slice of Anime. So it's the calm before the storm this week. We got both now the GTA trailer, as well as many other trailers that seem to be copying their format, as well as the TGAs next week. So expect the big boy episode next week. But for right now, it's a medium-sized show. So let's introduce our cohorts for this episode. He's too busy staring at the countdown timer for GTA 6 to be here, but Wolf.
Guys, we got 80 hours. It's almost here.
He knows the exact hour.
Time's upon us, bro.
He's excited to ride the train in Cyberpunk It's Fusion.
I am excited to ride that train.
And the latest member of the Suicide Squad, It's Dark.
How's it going?
And I think that is all the housekeeping we need to do, so let's just move right on over to the news.
Yeah, fuck you guys. It's GTA 6 time, all right? It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the only thing that matters?
That's the only thing that
I mean,
matters.
to
And
be
we
honest,
have other
it
news
really
stories.
is.
It literally is. Yeah, no. Rockstar Games, famously legendary company, one of the greats. They never made a bad game, by the way, guys. I just want to point that out again. They posted a picture over on x.com, baby. Rockstar, trailer 1, Tuesday, December 5th, 9 a.m. Eastern. I guess. I want you
The
to sit
Holy
together
Land.
with me.
Let's hear, bro.
All right, let's all hold hands. I'm going to tell you guys right now what's going to happen. I'm going to watch that trailer, and then you're never seeing me again. I'm going to hibernate. I'm gone. I'm done. I don't need a podcast anymore. I don't need to do anything anymore, because all I fucking need in life is this GTA 6 trailer, and it's fucking happening. We talked all about GTA 6 like last time. If I'm being completely honest, there's not really much else we could add.
Because there's no footage.
Listen. What we can't say is basically soft confirmed that this is Vice City because of the palm trees, the seagulls. Like I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. Like we're going to Vice City, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much else to add.
No, see, this is where this is the real getcha. This isn't GTA 6. This is just Vice City remake.
No, fuck off. They already did a Vice City remake, definitive edition.
That's just the poor. I mean, look at Persona. They re-released 3, and now here comes the remake.
Dude, Persona fans will equate everything to Persona. I swear to God, it's like I could be drinking a coffee, and they're like, "Man, I drank coffee once in Persona." Like, dog, I didn't ask. What the like? No, but GTA 6, that's all that matters in life, guys. I don't know. There's really not much else to add other than like the trailer is coming next week. We're gonna be talking all about it. I will say maybe we could ask, how expansive does this trailer get? Like, I don't know if you guys have any predictions for like kind of the vibe or like what they're gonna show off in this trailer.
It's literally gonna be a bunch of scene shots.
Yeah,
New engine scenes and the main characters.
That's what every
we're
like,
not
first
even. No, we're gonna get
Rockstar
the back
trailer
of the main character. Like they're not gonna show.
No, they're gonna
face.
show the main characters.
They'll show
Wasn't
their
like
backs.
Red Dead Redemption 2's first trailer? You just like saw the country, like they just every shot was just like of the world.
The first trailer is basically Rockstar saying we have more money than you, and that's effectively what we're getting out of this. And I'm so ready to see, just because they're showpiece games. Like they are some of the best looking games on every piece of hardware that they come out on. And I think the fact is, like GTA 6. I mean, I'll ask again. Like, do we think this is going to be PS5 Series X exclusive? The real question is PC. Is that going to happen? I think they skipped last gen consoles. I think they're done with PS4 and Xbox One at this rate. Like, because Rockstar's usually pretty quick about like letting go of the past consoles. I mean,
it's
the big
easy to do
thing
that
was,
when
like,
you release one game every 10 years.
well, yeah, I mean, even back then in the PS3 era, like GTA 4, that wasn't on PS2. They completely skipped the PS2 after San Andreas. So I don't know. I think I can't imagine that this comes out on a PS4. Like that'd be insane if a console from 2013. Yeah, really. But no, I don't know. Like it is interesting. I do agree. I think this is basically just going to be a showpiece trailer, showcase like, okay, what is this world? Kind of the vibes of the aesthetic. I will ask maybe like when does this game release? We kind of had that whole discussion. I do still very much hold firm. I think it's holiday 2024 with the chance of a delay. They usually do delay their games, but I think holiday 2024 makes sense.
I agree.
Did we
2025.
get a window in this trailer? Like, will they come out
We
and
will.
say fall
Yes.
2024?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it'll be like a holiday 2024, or maybe
They're
just
gonna
a
put
flat
holiday
2024.
2024, and every other company is gonna be like, okay, we need to move our release date.
Call of
Yeah,
Duty's
I mean,
going to move.
that's the big thing. Like if Grand Theft Auto 6, whatever month or day they choose, every company is just waiting. Like, okay, we're not going to announce our release date until we know when GTA 6 is coming out first, because we do not want to risk anything.
You know what's really gonna be funny is there's gonna be like some like AA or indie game that's gonna come out the same week. It's gonna be a slaughter.
No, I remember when I will never forget this. Red Dead Redemption 2. You want to know what game came out the same day as Red Dead Redemption 2? One of the biggest games of the PS4 generation.
Wasn't it like Nickelodeon kart racing?
I don't know, but the one I'm thinking of is My Hero 1 Justice.
Oh.
The Arena Fighter Bandai Namco My Hero game. That actually sucks, but hey, you know what? we'll
Well, I'm
forget
gonna
about
look
that.
that up right now.
I'll still
I
never
know I'm
It was
forget.
looking
2018,
way
right?
That was 2018.
2017. Wait, 20?
No, for Red Dead 2?
No,
Yeah,
2018.
Red
Yeah,
Dead.
yes, no, my bad.
Yeah.
I know I'm looking way too much into it, but I just find it weird that they put trailer 1 on there.
That's
That'd be
not
like
too crazy.
I just feel like no one, like, who comes out under like trailer 1? Like, no one has that.
But
Usually just say,
when
hey,
you
a trailer's
GTA,
coming.
you
but
can do
not
whatever the fuck
trailer
you feel like,
1.
right?
No, because I'll tell you what it is. Rockstar is very much like kind of has that Hollywood mindset, so it's like trailer 1 type deal.
Yeah, but
So,
even movies don't do that. Like, you don't see Christopher Nolan out there
yeah,
saying
they do.
trailer 1 is coming for Oppenheimer. He's just like, hey, next week there's this trailer.
When you
Well,
put as much money as they put into this fucking game, I think they can do what the fuck they feel like.
No, I feel like
That's the
it means something more. That's all I'm saying, bro. There's
I mean,
something.
I think what it means is that there's going to be more trailers.
No, I think this means it's a teaser. A teaser for the
Oh no,
real
I mean,
trailer.
No,
if it's going to be just a
Okay.
1 second shot, and it's just like 2024 next trailer. It's like, god damn it.
Okay, so I was technically right. Nickelodeon Car Races came out 3 days before Red Dead Redemption 2, but you are right. My Hero 1 Justice came out in the States on the same day as Red Dead 2. Also, Castlevania Requiem for the PlayStation 4 also came out on that day.
Wait, what?
Wow, dude.
It's like they don't want Castlevania to do well. They do this shit on purpose. I fucking hate Konami.
Hey,
Damn it.
maybe they had the date set and Rockstar came in and we're like, we're taking your date.
No,
And
well,
you
no, because
move.
No, you
yeah,
don't
at that
move.
point,
You stand your ground with your Castlevania. You're like, no, we're here and we're here to stay.
I think most Western game companies are very aware of like the power of a GTA 6, but I actually think a lot of Japanese companies are like, that's just
They
another
just don't
game.
care.
Who cares? Yeah, they're just like, whatever.
I was about to like drop the Switch 2 with the new Mario game the same fucking day because they can't.
Mario GTA are going to fight it out this holiday.
Yo, that's actually evil. That's actually evil if they do that to me. A new 3D Mario game and a new GTA game. Those are my 2 babies.
You know the type of
God
people to do that. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they would. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think
you know how many times that's happened? Like a big Japanese game and a big Western game come out like either the same day or like within days of each other because they do
happened
not
last
care.
month. Yeah, it happened last month. Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2. Exact same day.
Oh yeah, forgot
Interesting.
about that. I moved on from that trauma.
That trauma.
Okay. Also, just for another
yeah.
flash down memory lane, 1 week later after Red Dead Redemption 2, The Quiet Man released.
Oh, Game of the Year contender that year,
Fuck
right?
the
Uh-huh.
Quiet Man.
Oh, that was.
You don't know The Quiet Man?
experience.
It's really bad.
That was
Wait,
thing
don't
from
want to know
Square
The Quiet
Enix.
Man.
You should
It's a
look
Square
into
Enix
it. It's
game. Your favorite.
Yeah, it's a Square Enix
I actually
game. It
hate
was
Square Enix.
fascinating.
Like, I'm so critical of fucking Square Enix.
I think
No,
it
okay.
would probably be your favorite Square Enix game.
No, okay.
Oh.
You want to know what The Quiet Man is? I'll tell you right now what it is. You play as a deaf person. So to simulate being deaf, the game is mute. There's
Wait,
no
You play as a
audio.
deaf person, but the deaf person can talk?
No. The whole game is mute. Like the game, if you put the volume on your TV up, nothing comes out of it.
The fuck is it?
It's
Go
the
watch like
Square
Matt
dumbest game.
McMuscle's video on it, or like one of
Yeah.
those video documentaries.
And there's live action actors. Like, it's a bad video.
It's
game.
fascinating. Square Enix was in a funding
Square
every
Enix,
thing.
this sounds like a Square Enix game.
Well, moving on from the Quiet Man, or actually moving on from GTA 6, because that was the actual topic. We got off topic around here, boys. It's a fun show. Moving on. I got a bit of a Game Awards roundup, and we can actually kind of throw in some last-minute predictions here if we want at the end. But I want to go over some of the stuff that we've been learning about the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley kind of had a big Twitch thing over on Twitch. Twitch thing over on Twitch. You know, you guys, I'm a new podcaster.
Twitch
you got to
thing.
get used to this. He did a live stream answering some questions from the audience, from the chat. Pretty good live stream, all things considered. But we have a few headlines. First one from Video Games Chronicles from Chris Scullion. The Game Awards security will be tightened to prevent another stage invasion, Jeff Keighley says. The Game Awards producer Jeff Keighley says security will be tightened at this year's show to prevent another stage invasion. Both the Game Awards 2022 and this year's Gamescom opening night live show were disrupted by unauthorized people coming up to stage in a microphone. In a recent Q&A stream on Twitch, Keighley was asked if he could take more security measures for this year's Game Awards to prevent a third stage invasion. Keighley said he was, but he didn't want to go into specifics so that would-be invaders wouldn't know the security plans in advance. Quote, "Yeah, we are," he replied. We don't want to talk about that stuff too publicly just because it's security. We definitely have plans, and we're trying to do all we can to keep me safe, but also everyone watching the show, the audience, people participating in the show, and everything. It's certainly something we're thinking about. We appreciate the concern. So, obviously, everyone knows. I hope. I saw a picture on Twitter of now presenting Game of the Year. There's just a full swamp force standing behind Jeff Keighley. So, I hope that. I mean, listen. One time with like the Bill Clinton kid, like that, whatever, haha, like crazy shit happens. But like Gamescom 2, like that was more of a Gamescom issue, if anything. But still, like I think Jeff has been taking it to the feedback. If they can get better security, that's all that matters, because this is getting ridiculous.
Look, if they can touch you, right, or get like in the vicinity where they can touch you, like if they're in arm's reach of you, there's an issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have these people coming from like across the world that have some random psychopath who wants to know about who knows what. Fucking Silksong 2.
That's fucked up. Don't do fusion like that.
Fusion.
Like what?
Yes,
Why did I just
Silksong
catch a
2.
stray?
We have Fusion. Are
But
you
you
gonna
get my
go on
point.
stage at the Game Awards?
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't.
No, wait. We can't let this.
Security protocols.
I'm just saying, if
Can't
I
make
show
threats
up,
like that.
it's not a threat yet.
Okay. Yet? Oh my god, this podcast is
saying,
over.
I'm just saying, if Hades 2 ain't there, Jeff, watch out.
No, you can't say that. The show's
Jeff is
done,
never gonna
boys.
this now.
20
just
says
kidding,
we've
guys.
had a good run.
I love Jeff. I'd be the security. Hire me for free.
You're gonna fight. What are you gonna do?
Stare at them menacingly? I don't know.
Just
You know what?
look at him menacingly.
Yeah, really. Moving on. The Game Awards has considered adding Best Remake and Best Supporting Actor awards. Chris Scullion, again, over at VGC. During a recent Twitch Q&A, Keighley was asked if there were plans for award categories. Keighley replied that while there are no new categories this year, the idea of adding new categories is regularly discussed. Nothing new this year, he said. I've seen people online saying, why don't you have a Best DLC category, which is kind of like the ongoing game category. What? Typically, that's been live service games, but this year Cyberpunk 2077 is nominated. And when people ask why it's nominated, well, because they improved the base game in a big way with version 2.0 and Phantom Liberty, so that's sort of that in the category. The other thing people always ask is why we don't have a Best Remake or Remaster category. We've talked about it. I think the question is, are there 5 amazing remakes every year? Some years there are. There were some amazing ones this year. Obviously, RE4 is nominated for Game of the Year, Dead Space, a bunch of other good ones that came out this year. And the question also then is, would these remakes not be eligible for Game of the Year? So yeah, nothing new category-wise, but it's definitely something we talk about every year. So pretty much kind of what I expected out of that answer. It is kind of weird how like we still don't have new categories, but we still just get these weird things like best RPG, and some of the games are not RPGs, or best fighting game, and Sifu was nominated that one year. And the whole issue with the genre category. So I feel like DLC is less of a weird thing in comparison.
Like you got bigger problems right now, Jeff.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I
do
get him on
think-
the remake stance. It's like, yeah, this was a hefty year for big,
but also
big
remakes
deal
/
remakes.
remasters.
Yeah.
Just that
Well,
do that.
yeah, the remasters are barely anything. It's just more like, yeah, we kind of cleaned this up a little bit. It's still the good game that you all remember.
I don't know. For me, like he can say this, and then like it kind of goes all out the window when you listen to what he said about the independent games. I'm like, yeah, okay. He could just be making shit
Yeah.
up as he goes. So like, what's the point?
Well, that's the other thing is it's like he's not
The
making
independent
these
game doesn't
decisions.
matter.
When it comes to stuff like Sifu being nominated for best fighting game, that's not on Jeff. That's the
It's the
people who
jury.
vote. So clearly, either people are not paying attention to like see what Sifu is, or they're just like, well, it's close enough. We had to fill this in.
I mean, yeah, that's one
Well-
thing, but like defending it though. Right?
Well, of
I
course, he's
don't
going to
think it's
defend him to whatever his show is.
He's just gonna, he's just gonna say like, this is how it is. If you watch the Switch interview, it's very much he says it like, that's what the jury said. That's what they said. I don't make those decisions. And I don't know. I think that's a fair enough response from Jeff. But
That's
like,
true.
also, I do agree that like, it is kind of silly that we can't with something like Dave the Diver. But also, Bench said last week, I agree with him. I really don't care. With the
Yeah,
Dave
it's
the
also the
Diver
same time. It's
controversy.
video games. It's an award show. Who cares?
It's a show. That's all it is. It's always the same whole argument. I'm just like, it's a show. Let's calm down, guys.
People forget
Moving
how
on.
to have fun.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
like they just like
I'm right there with you.
you just sit back, enjoy a show. You're gonna get some cool trailers, even if you don't like the awards. Who cares? You're gonna get like cool stuff to see. You're going to get excited for the
Exactly.
next year of video games. Like that's all that matters, honestly.
And I do think the Game Awards is improving in a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of things that still need work. Like nothing is perfect, but I mean, it's always like that. The people who say this crazy, like, the Game Awards is just an advertisement. It's like, yeah, okay. Like,
So
I don't
is
care, I'm
literally
just
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you like Xbox shows, you like PlayStation experiences, Nintendo Directs. Like, yeah, those are just advertisements too. Like, you're not saying anything new here. I don't know. That's my personal take. Moving on. This is the saddest story, guys. Okami has this. Jeff Keighley says the Game Awards will be moving away from the world premiere title cards starting this year. The fuck?
What's the purpose of this? I don't understand. What was wrong with it?
I think it was because like I don't know. I think he explained it. Trying
The
to
way he
understand.
kind of explained it, it was like, granted, I'm just like paraphrasing here, but the way I got it was he doesn't want to list something as like a world premiere, and then you get something like that CGI Wonder Woman trailer. Like he wanted
Yeah.
to lift, he wanted world premiere to be more like you're getting your first gameplay look at this, or like like a full on reveal of something. So now instead of like having like, okay, well this gets world premiere, this gets a different name. He just got rid of it all and just be like, here's a trailer.
Okay, but that announcer, like that man's out of a job. Like he just fired that guy. Just said, yeah,
A voice
world
like that,
premiere.
he'll be fine, bro.
I mean, he probably hasn't recorded voice lines for 10
Yeah,
years.
you probably recorded that once and they've been using it.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
this
mi-
guy's. I think there's gonna be something. I think we're just not gonna get that world like.
No,
Jeff is
it's just
gonna
gonna be
still come
Jeff be
out
like,
there.
okay, here's a new
Yeah,
trailer
exactly.
from our
Rival now.
friends at
It's gonna
Like
be
if,
just gonna
if
be
the
released
trailer
in the
really
next trailer.
matters, like like not gonna happen. Like you say, like the next Gears of War was up there. Like you would know. I assume something would notify you, like Jeff or someone would be like, "Hey, this is a brand new blah 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 blah," and you're about to see it.
Well, speaking of the next Gears of War, that could be there as Xbox. Actually, before we even move on, let's just all do one last world premiere just to send it off right. 3, 2, 1. World premiere. Okay, none of you did it.
I thought it'd be funnier if I didn't.
Yeah, apparently all of you did. I hate this fucking podcast.
World
No,
premiere.
I was
wanna do
lost,
this.
bro. I thought you wanted me to say a game that I thought was gonna world premiere. So that's on me.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, whatever. The moment's gone. Xbox.
Alright, here it is.
Xbox is teasing important announcements for December's Game Awards. This comes from Tom Ivan over at VGC. In promotional materials distributed this week, the company said important announcements are planned for the event, along with other exciting news. It wrote, quote, celebrate the best games of the year and the big winners live at the Game Awards on 7 December. Who says it like that? December 7th at
Europeans.
1930 ET. Ah, that's why. God. 4:30 p.m. PT, along with important announcements and other Xbox news that you don't want to miss. Interesting, to say the least. I guess we could do a quick little like what do we think gets revealed here from Xbox specifically? Fusion said Gears 6, like kind of jokingly, like, oh, I don't think it would. I actually think it could be here. I don't know. I could see it. I think this could be the case.
It could
This,
be. The way that Gears works, they kind of like a track record for these things. Granted, this could always change. The way Gears works is that they showed a trailer, and then 1 year from that trailer, or like around that time period, the game's gonna come out. They've been doing this for fucking forever. But I'm also of the mindset that Gears of War 6 is finished, but they're just trying to make this game as good as possible because of what happened with Gears of War 5.
I mean,
Like, there's
with,
no
like,
way this game
that
isn't
would-
close to completion.
what you say about a year, that could be the case where it's like, it's like they show it off here and then it comes out like what, next September or October. I think Gears
Hellblade.
6 could be here. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Hellblade. I was
It's
about to
gonna
say,
be
it's like, I think
Hellblade.
Gears
It's gonna be. I don't know what's else on like the docket
I actually
for.
think we're getting a
they have a
Valve
lot of
release
games
date.
coming up soon.
I was about to say Avowed is probably likely.
I think we're getting a release date. I think we're getting a big, not big, but I think we're getting a big enough trailer where like Valve's gonna have a presence here at this show.
Do you think they might be
mind.
internally working on Avowed? Like after kind of the criticism that the trailer got at the June showcase. Because I'll be honest, I rewatched that trailer and I was like, oh,
It was
man,
not
this...
their best trailer. Their older trailers
Yeah.
were so much better for some reason.
Well, because the older trailers were CG,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
I
you see
guess.
the actual game, and it's like, man, this is not nearly as interesting as I thought it could have been. Like, it's probably still going to be a banger game, like from an RPG standpoint, because that's what Obsidian does best, is make really fucking good RPGs. But I'm also like wondering if they want to position this as like their big RPG, I feel like you're gonna want to work on that game a bit more because that did not look good either.
So the only games that are officially listed for 2024 under Xbox Game Studios, at least, is Aura History Untold, Avowed, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Hellblade 2, and Towerborn.
I just want to throw
Oh,
something real quick. Keep in mind, Xbox owns Bethesda now. Not Bethesda, Activision now. So anything Activision Blizzard was planning to show at the Game
I
Awards, if
did-
anything, they're gonna have it now too. And Xbox be
So
like,
I
hey,
wanna
look
actually-
at what we got.
I wanted to bring this up. Sarah Bond just cryptidly, like, this may not mean anything, but she just tweeted out the Xbox 360 logo. So I'm
Backward
thinking that
compatibility.
I could see. I mean, maybe not like new back compat games, but maybe they just do like a quick sizzle reel trailer of like the older COD games and go like all of them now on Game Pass. I could see a situation like
Games, let's
that.
go.
Dude, I want it so badly. You do not know how badly I just want to go back to Black Ops 2 multiplayer. But I don't know. I could see something like that. There's also that other game that was like the Louisiana game. I forget the name of it.
Oh, that
Song
game
of
was really. I
South.
know what you're talking about.
No, that song's not. South of Midnight.
South of Midnight. Yeah, no, that
No,
looked
that
really
game is still
interesting.
way
but
too
yeah,
far
that's,
away.
that's
That
very far.
yeah, that
I-
trailer that we saw
wasn't
at
there
the Xbox
recently
showcase.
ratings?
No, the trailer that we got at the showcase was literally a recruitment video. They said it so as
What
much.
about what about State of Decay?
No, I heard that.
Dude,
was-
that game I swear to God, that
I
never.
think
That game
I'm
doesn't
pretty sure.
exist.
I'm pretty sure Jez said multiple times this year that game's like genuinely 2027, like very far off. Like
How the
I-
fuck?
I
That
have
was like
no
one of the
idea
first
why.
games.
don't you remember? I remember us talking. I swear we talked about it on the podcast not long ago, where I was
Wait.
going in on Undead Labs saying like, what are they doing for the last 5 years? Like,
I mean,
I
there's
think they've
also
been
that
supporting State of Decay too.
yeah, because people played that video game.
when the Activision deal was going on, there was that leak that Xbox leaked themselves of all those remasters and new titles from Bethesda too. I would love to see one of those. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, there was also real quick on State of Decay 3. There was kind of that rumor of them apparently working on another project as well. Like, dog, focus
Your
on
first
State of
round
Decay
first.
first. Really? I don't know. Xbox is kind of a weird one because they have so many studios now, so that they could reveal so much out of it. I've heard rumblings that id Software is going to reveal their game soon. I mean, we could see Doom Year Zero that was leaked. Though also, it's like there was also id. Maybe they were working on a Quake game. I don't know. I want a new id game. That's all I care about now from Xbox. It's just give me id. Say again, Dick.
It would make sense. It's been a hot minute since they've had anything out.
I mean, I'll say the wild card though is that Xbox has the developer direct now, so maybe they don't want to like show too much of
That's
the
what I was
Game
gonna
Awards.
say. Like maybe they don't reveal as much here because they got their own thing now, and I think they said they want to kind of make this a regular like quarterly thing of updates.
Yeah.
So they're gonna throw Jeff a few bones, but nothing too crazy.
The only reason
I'm
I
very
think
excited.
there will be something kind of big is because how much backlash they got last year for not showing at all. Like they weren't at the TGA at all last year, and people were like, they
That-
ran with those stories for months where they're like, Xbox doesn't even show up at the biggest stage, like blah blah. It was like
That
the equivalent of
which is
just
so
skipping
funny
E3.
because we never give Nintendo shit for that. Like that's the
Like-
real Xbox act.
I feel like Xbox will like
That's
Xbox
the
is
Sony
really,
pony coming
Phil
out.
Spencer. Phil Spencer's really good at like when the media is running with something, especially something like that, where like, hey, where was Xbox last year at TGA? Like Phil Spencer's really good the next year showing up in a big way and then being like, and then someone will interview him and he'll be like, yeah, in 2022 we weren't there, so like we had to show up in 2023. Like Phil Spencer, I feel like does a really good job at like taking the fan criticism and be like, hey, where were you? And like he usually shows up the next time. So like I think
Well, they have
even if
stuff to
it's
show
nothing
up with.
crazy, I just think it could be like even a tease for like the next id Software game, or like I think at least a Valve and Hellblade show up and that'll be cool. But I feel like you still need one more, like even if it's a double A, like another Hi-Fi Rush situation where it's just like one of these studios are working on like a smaller title and you announce it here, like something even on that scale, I feel like would be cool enough for like the TGAs.
Gameplay trailer for Fable.
Yeah, game.
I think
it's not coming out for like
Fable's
another
far.
3 years.
I don't think it's that far off. I think it's gonna be like a 2025. I don't
Yeah,
think
so a
it's that
gameplay
far
trailer
off.
would make sense.
I think I want to save
No.
that for later though, because like they just
I
showed it
legit
off
think
in
it's
June.
They'll also
It's
save that
Hellblade,
for
a
like
Valve,
their own
or a
stuff.
new IP. Like I don't think anything else other than Hellblade and Avowed that is announced would be shown here at all.
I do want
I
to
think
say,
Hellblade
those two are a
for
new
out
IP.
though, like there's not a single that I'm Gears of War 6 is going to be shown off next year. Or like from now to next year, it's
Yeah,
gonna,
if it's-
sometime
if
it's going to be
it's
shown.
not
There's no
next
way
year.
it's done.
I will say with Hellblade 2, for the love of God, put a release date, because this game shouldn't be like feeling like it's taking as long as it is. Also,
I mean, it
show
was at the
gameplay.
TJ last year. They did show gameplay
Was
last
it
year.
Wait, was it last year?
Yeah,
They
that's
showed
all we got
Gears-
then.
it's-
They showed the spears. No, was that?
That was
No, that
last
was the
year?
year before.
No, that was the
'cause
year before.
Xbox wasn't at TJ at all last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My
no,
bad.
yeah, I remember because they showed the spirit. It was game. Okay, am I the only one that thought
That
that
wasn't
like it
gameplay,
looked
no.
impressive, but that looked so fucking boring. It did not look like actual gameplay.
That was not. That was like the most on the rails spear throwing I ever seen, bro. That wasn't.
Yeah.
I want some raw Hellblade gameplay. I want
Oh,
to see.
Hellblade.
Crazy
Hellblade.
spear throwing gameplay, bro.
I want the HUD on.
Like-
let me see the HUD. Just put
You
it
can
up
talk
there.
about how you can talk about how amazing your audio is in so many different places. I like listen, you showed that off. Show me the gameplay. Like I want to
So,
know what I'm doing in
it's-
this place.
It's been a while since I've played Hellblade 1, but I don't remember there being a HUD. I think it might actually just be like.
No, there was a Fusion.
I played it
was
this
there
year.
a HUD?
I don't remember there being a HUD.
Very.
Keep in mind, I did not like the game and I didn't play it for long. But
There really wasn't a HUD, but like
I don't think there really was a HUD.
there was like
Was there a
button
health bar?
prompts and stuff. No, there wasn't even a health bar.
No,
No.
there wasn't.
Bro, just okay. Here's what I don't understand. This is the same studio that made what was that game called on the PS3? I have it on my shelf. Okay, never mind. I forgot. Oh, Heavenly Sword. They made Heavenly Sword. They did DMC Devil May Cry. They did Bleeding Edge. Remember that game? They do
Oh, man.
action games. They did action games. They made games that are literally purely combat, but for Hellblade, they're like, no, our vision is zero combat. Just give her a sword. Let me fight some guys. Like you're good at making good combat. How about you actually do it? I don't know. Or maybe I'm just whining. It just doesn't make sense to me. Moving on. We got this is a little thing. This comes from Curious Joy over on Twitter. She got a letter from Sega and kind of showed off that Sega is going to be at the Game Awards. I don't know. That's that crazy to say though, because what are they going to show off, guys?
Jet Set
Yeah,
Jet
Radio.
Set Radio.
There's no way. Do you guys think Jet Set's here?
Yep.
The
That's
style of
probably
the
what it
card
is.
and the font look very Jet Set Radio, and The words that they say on the cards, like "new era, new energy," that sounds like a Jet Set Radio.
There's only two things it could be: it's either Jet Set Radio or Persona 6, and I don't think it's Persona 6. So
It's not Persona 6. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
it's
thing
Jet
though.
Set Radio.
Sega could,
I mean, it could
it
be
could literally
Persona
just be
6, but
Persona. No, it could be Persona 3 Reload or Yakuza. Like
yeah, but they
stuff
wouldn't
that
have
we
that calling
expect,
card
you
like that, like the way that it's set up.
Yeah, if you look at the
You do not know
card,
It would just be like a
it doesn't
Teletubbies.
match any of that.
That's so funny because I thought this was about another Sonic movie, to be honest.
I mean,
God,
there's
I
another
wish.
Sonic movie, but that's besides the point.
That's why I thought this was.
I
I
can't
thought that's
wait.
literally what this was for. Like
Yo,
They
Sonic
just
TJ
started
always had-
filming that movie like 2 days
I,
ago.
Yeah.
was just like
I-
something like the director's cut of Sonic 2. Like it's like
Yeah,
something Sonic.
yeah. Hang on. To derail this completely, Dark. Who's playing Shadow? Who's the actor?
I
for
don't
Shadow
know.
the Hedgehog?
I don't know.
They gotta get someone on the level of Idris
I
Elba.
forgot who.
It's
I was talking to a bunch about this the other day, but this guy retired. The guy who plays Eggman, which is like the perfect casting.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. Well,
So,
yeah,
like,
because Eggman's probably
how's
not
that
gonna be.
gonna work?
Well, because it's gonna be Shadow. Shadow's
Wait,
gonna
did
be
you
the
say,
main
like,
protagonist.
The
Eggman's
guy
a big part of
There could be
it.
Eggman's
Jim
dad.
Carrey is just a guy.
Look, I have a hard time remembering names. On the top of my
No,
head.
the fact that he knew who Jim Carrey
Yeah,
was and Dark knew.
Even I know Jim Carrey, Dark. That's actually pretty.
He said the
I don't
guy.
know.
I'm not
who
good
played
with
him.
names, alright?
That's crazy.
No, I'm
Jim
bad with
Carrey.
names too. I'm bad with names too, but Jim Carrey's a national treasure. You know, the best Grinch actor right there. Why are we talking
That's
about
so
movies?
crazy.
I'm sorry, Sonic movie. I'm so excited for that movie. You kidding me? I'm ready. I will say so real quick. Let's just do some last minute Game Awards predictions before we jump off. Like, what do we think is going to be there? Like, other than stuff from Xbox, like, does PlayStation or Nintendo show up at all?
No.
Xbox can be not Xbox. Nintendo might be there. I don't know what the hell
I
they're
don't
showing.
think
They might
Nintendo's
show
there,
something.
though. That's the thing. They don't
PlayStation
have
will be
anything to
there.
show. You think PlayStation's there, Fusion?
100. Death Stranding 2 is there, and that's PlayStation. So
Oh yeah, that's right. I
that's
mean, like
it's a
that. Yeah,
lock. That's
of
in there.
course. Yeah, I'm
Any
I'm
Jeff
Uh,
show ever, Kojima's there. So
I mean, do you think
And I
Death
actually
Stranding
just
2
think-
gets that date?
I still think we. Yes.
I think it does. I think it gets like at least a window. I think it's like next year.
I
for
think
sure.
Spider-Man shows up. I don't know if it's DLC something. Spider-Man's there.
Oh, I mean, it's
I
tough.
think Wonder Woman's gonna get more time to shine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like last time we saw that was 2 years ago. I think it's around the time for that game to get shown off. I mean, we recently had the Warner Brothers executive tell us like, hey, it's not a live service game. It's gonna have the Nemesis system. Third game ever to have it, by the way. God bless you, Warner Brothers Interactive. But yeah, it's actually. I think that's gonna be there. That's a
hyped
good
for it.
prediction. I think Suicide Squad will also probably get like a quick trailer as well.
Oh yeah,
Like, there's a lot of stuff that's like coming out soon that I think we'll get trailers here. Like almost safe bets, I would say.
Unicorn Overlord.
I don't
that
know.
might
about
be
that.
there. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like Japanese, like something on that scale, like a kind of smaller Japanese, like very hardcore strategy game, that usually isn't at the Game Awards.
Yeah, because
Well,
this
like,
has a
big
much more
flashy
broad
games.
appeal.
Oh, it's gonna be there,
Exactly.
but it will be in the 30-minute pre-show. It's there, just not. That's not a main
Yeah, that's
show.
true.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta remember, think of the pre-shows are usually somehow really good for no reason. Like some of your best, like
Oh yeah.
they'll somehow have
Dead
some
Cells.
cool reveals always in like the pre-show. Yeah, like the Dead Cell Castlevania thing. I'm like, why is this in your pre-show? Like when you get this gonna make the main show.
The pre-show is
You know
just
what-
there so they can get rid of the esports
You know what
stuff.
won't be there? Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, they did. Say that.
Yeah, we can transition to that right now. Actually,
Segue.
segue. Elden Ring producer says its expansion will be a little while yet and compares it to Bloodborne. I'll tell you guys right now. When I looked on Twitter when I saw this, I just saw Bloodborne. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, oh, compares it to Bloodborne. Could fucking
Hey,
scare me.
God damn it.
This goes from Tom Ivan over at VGC. Speaking to Japanese publication Game Watch, the From Software producer said development was progressing well, but suggested that fans shouldn't expect a release in the near future. Quote, it'll be a little while yet, but progress is going well. Like Bloodborne, it has new battles and new characters. Why did he say Bloodborne?
Like every
Literally-
Clearly, he's
DLC
teasing
they bring.
Bloodborne too.
Yeah, I see that every like, why just like Bloodborne, it will have new video game parts. It's like, yeah, of course it will.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Maybe-
the Dark Souls 3 DLCs had that too.
Yeah, all of them did. Why did he? Why Bloodborne? I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe he's like me and thinks about Bloodborne far more than the average human should. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Elden Ring DLC won't be coming out anytime soon. I was kind of expecting that February release date because From Software are fucking machines. But I think
Yeah, this surprises
looking at
me.
looking at this, it tells me that this is going to be kind of around like summer or maybe even late 2024.
Which that's 2.5 years. That's a long time for an expansion.
I mean, that kind of tells me though this is
I
going to be
mean,
a big
look at
expansion.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk wasn't planned.
Also, the big
Phantom
thing.
Liberty was not planned to be in the game.
I don't
In-
think this expansion was planned to be part of the game either.
Erdtrue, no, they
No?
planned that.
No, that was planned. No, you get
100%
From
they planned that.
Software. Yeah. No, they always have DLC for their games. Armored Core 6 is a weird one.
Sekiro?
I don't actually think that
The
was
fuck?
one. Sekiro fans always got to make it about themselves. I swear to
You
God.
said
Like,
every FromSoft game.
Sekiro was published by Activision, bro. Just leave
Yeah,
them alone.
that's probably a tougher one. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I still think it's gonna be at the Game Awards though. Like I will make that prediction. I think it will still be shown off here, but I don't think it will have that crazy February date that we were expecting.
Oh, you think? See, I thought it was gonna be here before this, before they announced it.
Oh, you
Because
think it's not gonna make it?
I feel like once you say this, like, it's kind of telling people, hey, just don't expect a trailer from anyone anytime soon. Like we're still
Well,
far out.
He was at an event basically, and they were just asked like, how's the progress of the development? Like this wasn't just like something he put out there on like Twitter or like he seeked out an interview. Like he was just asked on a panel and basically just said like, yeah, it's like don't expect it anytime like soon, but like it's going well. Apparently, it's like Bloodborne, whatever that
Apparently,
means.
I guess it could be dark.
Yeah, I mean, it could go for like more gothic nature. Maybe that's what he means. I just don't get it. Maybe it was a mistranslation. Like literally, the quote says, "Like Bloodborne, it has new battles and new characters." Like I would hope so. I have to hope that's just a mistranslation because that is
sounds
a
like-
weird comparison.
It sounds like the person who asked the question used Bloodborne as a transition. And he was
I
just
don't-
like mentioning, hey, I like Bloodborne, like in whatever question he asked, so and so. Maybe they also
Yeah.
asked about Bloodborne remake or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'm not talking about that. But like Bloodborne.
He also was surprised that so many people played the game, adding, "There are no words other than gratitude. I'm really grateful." Well, thank you for making one of the greatest games of all time. Moving on. Wait, we don't. Do we have any more prediction for Game Awards, or are we just ready for this show to come out now?
just I hope no leaks at this point.
Yeah,
Like we're
God, I hope
6
so.
days away. I just really hope like let's hunker that. Let all the leakers out there just be nice for once. Let's just
Be
come
quiet.
together. Even if you like, it's cool. I will say Shinobi on Twitter, him being excited makes me really excited because it's been a
Yeah.
while since he's been excited.
He knows
So, like,
something.
and I saw Jez tweet out something yesterday about like, hey, this show is gonna be really good. Like those leaks are like those type of hints are fine. I just don't want like don't come out
Oh,
the day
yeah.
before and be like, hey, Mother Gear Solid's here, like something stupid like that. Like it's just not fun when you do that.
I mean, adding on
I
top
do
of
think
that,
Metal Gear Solid was
even
really-
Grubb
Yeah,
mentioned there
Del-
would be new IP and cool stuff from third party. Those were his words.
Jeff he knows stuff, and he outright was like he was talking about it on the podcast. It's like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like look out, there's going to be some good stuff here.
That's what I like to hear.
I mean, Dark did mention
wait, I
Metal
gotta-
Gear Solid Delta.
I got another one.
Oh.
This might be where we see the Indiana Jones game.
No, they want to show that off on their own.
If
stuff
Xbox
there.
was just there, it is the Indiana Jones.
I mean, it would be cool.
When was it announced? I feel like it's been forever.
I feel like Dark's
I-
actually on this. Like if you're going to show your Indiana Jones game, why not the Game Awards? It's the biggest stage. Indiana Jones is one of the biggest franchises.
No, I don't
in
think
the world.
Xbox
Like,
cares about that. I just think Indiana Jones is a be shown there.
No, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. I could not be less excited for this Indiana Jones games, guys.
Oh, me either. I don't I don't really care
Like,
about it. But I just think
Indiana
it would be there.
Jones is not that big of an IP. We saw
I've never even seen
they tried to
Indiana
bring it
Jones,
back.
so-
People
Yeah, no,
swipe
me
there.
neither. It's probably a good movie, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's as big of an IP as like a Star Wars. So, like, I don't know, like, it just doesn't really have that like franchise power. And also, I'm just like, Machine Games, make Wolfenstein 3 instead. That's so much better. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me whining because I want Wolfenstein 3. But one game that I do want that's coming out real soon is Dragon's Dogma 2. And Capcom showed off quite a bit. Okami had a pretty good summary of everything in the presentation. New Dragon's Dogma 2 details, 2 main realms, Vermund, the human arisen kingdom, and Batal, the beast-rend kingdom. Queen Daiza of Vermund plots to have her son take the throne. Each kingdom has their own customs and traditions. New race, elves. They also have a settlement, but avoid human content. A young elf named Glindir is in the game, who has the rare ability to speak human language. New monster, Talos, the bronze giant, a man-made creation bringing chaos to the land. New vocation, Trickster. Use smoke clouds to fight and conjure illusions that confuse the enemy. Can also increase party's attack power for a limited time. Create a character, uses RE Engine photogrammetry for more realistic characters, and you can make either a human arisen character or a beast-rend. Some vocations are exclusive. Trickster is arisen only. Fusion, you watched this presentation live. I watched quite a decent amount of it. This game looks good.
It does look really good. Like every time I show it, I'm just like, wow. Like I went from not caring about Dragon Dogma at all, like a year ago. Like every time they show this game, I'm like, I want to play this game, and each like time they also show it, I'm like, I need to play the first one. Like I need to get to the
same.
first one so I can just like jump. And granted, I think you can play this one anyways, but it's just like I want to see what the Dragon Dogma fan base has been like wanting for the last 10 years. Like
People
know, it just-
swear by Dragon's Dogma.
they swear
call
by it.
one of
They
the
got a cult
best
following over
games.
there.
I mean, it's Capcom. I think we can all agree Capcom is kind of on top of the world. And if this game comes out like after Street Fighter 6 and RE4 remake, it's like, dude, they're just unstoppable. Like they figured out they were going through some shit during the PS3 360 era, kind of the early PS4 era. They went through some bullshit, but then they hunkered down. They said, no, how about we just focus on making good fucking video games? And guess what? They made good fucking video games, and now they're doing the best they've ever done before. And
Great
that
Enix should take notes.
listen, he said it, not me.
No, I'm speaking the truth because you're fucking sucking as a.
They did give a date as well, March 22nd, basically confirming. So this was their March game. We always heard it was unannounced, whatever the March game was. I guess that was probably a mistranslation because it looks like it was just like, this is their big March game, unless they also have Monster Hunter. But like, well, you're gonna have like a 3-month like marketing cycle for Monster Hunter. I doubt it.
Yeah, see, I thought it was. I'm like, oh, there must be a mistranslation, but like, I was listening to Easy Allies the other day, and they're still so convinced Monster Hunter's coming in January. They like still think like this is
January.
I'm like, yeah, they think it's a TJ
No
announcement in like January. I'm like, I don't know what they know, but that would be insane if Monster Hunter's next to like, because you can't put them next to each other because they would like Monster Hunter would eat Dragon, like it would eat them up.
Yeah, no, I think what's more likely, I think I could see Monster Hunter being revealed very soon, like maybe in the next few months, maybe even at TGAs. It could be here at the award show. And I think it's going to be like kind of a late 2024 or like maybe mid 2024 around the June, July window. I doubt that they're going to want to put it that close next to Dragon's Dogma.
Because they did say it would like sell millions, and like Dragon Dogma's getting popular, but will it be like
with the way they're
multi-million
marketing
seller? I don't know.
I have seen, like, obviously this is what's it called, anecdotal, but I've seen people that don't really talk that much about games that aren't in our sphere of like gaming discussions talk about Dragon's Dogma 2, because you know what it is? It's the Capcom logo. People see Capcom, they're like, that's going to be a quality product, and I think they're kind of reaching that like level of like, not Rockstar level by any means, but like, I mean, it may be close to Rockstar, maybe like a tier or two below Rockstar, where it's like you see the logo, you're like, oh, that's going to be a good game, as long as it's not a multiplayer Resident Evil game. That's the only
We don't
thing.
talk about it.
Moving on, but yeah, Dragon's Dogma, very very exciting. I cannot wait. Okami has this next one. Bungie confirms Destiny 2, the final shape, has been delayed to June 4th, 2024. Happy birthday, Moon! Oh, Moon's not here.
He just ignored your birthday request.
I don't want to
bro.
talk about it.
No, he was just so depressed he couldn't respond.
I don't.
Bro, I think Moon's birthday is going to be a bigger event than this DLC. I'll say that right now.
Hell yeah.
I will say it's kind of funny. They this was leaked that it was going to get delayed, and they were like, "Oh, we have no plans to delay anything." That they proceeded to delay it like a couple weeks after the leak. So it kind of tells me it's like, yeah, you were always planning to delay. Or I don't know why they're like flabbergasted by it, but hey, you know what? It is weird that they waited this long to just say it's delayed, but also I think they kind of wanted to avoid the fallout of like all the layoffs and everything. So they wanted to avoid like all that, and also, oh, by the way, the next expansion is delayed. But also, not surprised at all that it's coming out, or that it got delayed. I did see a funny graphic on Twitter, Paul Tassi, of saying Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out the same day as this DLC. That'd be fucking the nail on the coffin for Bungie. But yeah, can't wait. I can't wait. I don't care about Destiny. Moving on. One of our favorite games, a friend of the show, if you will, Skull and Bones is in the news again. This comes from Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. Skull and Bones release date is February 2024. Following 6 delays, Insider Gaming 6 delays. Insider Gaming has learned that Skull and Bones has finally gotten the release date of February 16th, 2024. Okay, guys. We gotta talk about this.
There's a lot of excitement for this.
Wait, is it actually okay? Is it
that
finally
been
going to come out?
confirmed? Because none of the apps I use have moved Skull and Bones to February.
No, this is a leak.
Okay.
This is Insider Gaming leaking it. I could see maybe them announcing it at Game Awards. They're like, guys, this is Ubisoft's big thing at the TPAs.
Well, you know what's insane about this?
What?
The first announcement was that it was supposed to come out in 2019. Like, this game was supposed to come out in 2019. Not only that, it's gotten... Then it got pushed to 2020, then 2021. Then the fourth release gave an actual date of November 8th.
Yep.
And then the last after that gave another date of March 9th. Like, this game has gotten actual dates.
Oh my god. I remember because it was actually going to come out like the day of God of War Ragnarok. And then it was like, oh, we delayed it to March. And I'll tell you now, everyone was like, oh, it's going to hit March. There's no way it gets delayed again. What is with this game,
like,
guys?
they're I believe the February date because they're just shadow dropping it just so, like, what government are they open with? Like, the government
Singapore.
Yeah, they're just shadow dropping in February around all these big games just so they can just get it out, and like the Singapore government can just get off their back. Just be like, hey, it's out there. Whatever happens, happens.
Weird. They have spent more money with delays on this game than it's ever gonna make. It's not gonna make this money back. Like, we can all agree there. I'll ask now. I mean, do you guys think maybe the game will be good?
Probably not. I don't
Yeah, the silence told me everything.
so. I think this game, this game's only coming out because of the Singapore government. Ubisoft would have canned this thing 4 years ago. They can't. They're literally in a legal binding contract that they can't get rid of. So, like, I said, like, those devs are probably in hell every time they go to work. They're just like, why am I working on Skull and Bones?
I'm just so ready for this stupid thing. I'll tell you now, I think the game actually would have sold better. People are tired of Assassin's Creed, but you could have just called this Assassin's Creed Pirates or something, and it probably would have sold really well.
So for that, you would have to get off your boat. Like, this game's like boat-only gameplay.
Well, yeah, no, but they could say like, oh, well, it's a spinoff of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
people will be like, oh, Assassin's Creed. Pick it up on the shelf.
I wonder if Ubisoft picked the name. I assume they did. I don't know how that whole contract with the government works when they have to release the game, but...
No, they picked the name. Ubisoft picked the name and everything. It literally is just the Singapore government. They gave them money to like help development, and they're basically in this contract of you have to release something. And apparently, I heard the contract basically said like the product has to be like good, or at the very least like sell a decent amount. You can't just release it randomly. I don't know. They've invested way too much into this stupid thing. Just I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it to just finally get out of the news cycle. I'm sick of this game.
No, the problem is it's going to come out and it's going to be back in the news cycle as they say, yeah, Skull and Bones server's going to die off in 6 months.
And then it'll forever be out of the news cycle. That's my dream in life.
Correct.
Moving on. We got interesting one here. NCSoft and Sony Interactive Entertainment announced strategic partnership. This comes from Sony Interactive themselves. NCSoft, a global premier developer and publisher, today announced that it signed a strategic global partnership with Sony Interactive Entertainment. The two company CEOs, Takajin Kim of NCSoft and Jim Ryan of SIE, Jim Ryan's still there, baby, have met and jointly signed the partnership. Under this partnership, NCSoft and SIE will collaborate in various global business fields, including mobile. I did want to add that last part of including mobile. Kind of tells me that mobile is kind of one of the strong things they want to focus on in that regard. But also, Sony's really going hard in Korea. NCSoft, a Korean company, and I think like Stellar Blade, we have that. I think Fusion and me were talking about this. I think Sony's playing really hard into Korea. That is a blossoming games market. The games that are coming out of there keep looking better and better, and I think they have a very strong chance to do well over in that region.
Even I was just thinking, is Phantom Blade? Do you remember Phantom Blade Zero?
Yeah.
Even I'm pretty sure that's a Korean
that's Chinese.
company. Oh, really? Let me check real quick.
I can
Because I
check.
swear.
I can check. You can talk.
Okay, I would just say because that Wukong game's from Korea, right?
That's Chinese.
Where it's not a.
Also Phantom Blade Zero is Chinese as well.
Wow,
Man,
that's
you are
crazy. I'm really
This says a
way
lot
off.
about you, Fusion. Huh?
I know it does. No, I swear there was some other game like Korean game that I'm thinking of at that conference. I don't know. Either way, it's just
Liza P?
no, but that's also one that could like it's just cool to see like the Korean market, like the game market, like you said, like blossoming. Like they're coming out and they're like, granted, a lot of these games haven't came out yet, so we don't know if any of them's good. But like, it's still cool to see like, it's still cool to see big publishers investing in that area of the world.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. They're investing. I think we're kind of talking about this. Me and Dirk, we had a big conversation. Is Microsoft? I feel like Microsoft kind of needs to start investing in Korea too. That's a market. That's a market of games that you can add to Game Pass if you just start working with the people there. I get they did like we were talking about it. I'll let Dark say his piece. I know Japan was a focus. You were kind of talking about it.
Yeah, so Xbox has they really fucked up with Japan. It's the end of the 360 era and really into the Xbox One. So they've been pushing really hard to fix that, and you finally starting to see the fruits of that now with Sony being on Game Pass Day One and all these pushes that they're doing for Japan. So I feel like they're gonna be focusing more on that now, and like really trying to push that, and then they'll slightly start shifting over to Korea and other locations.
It's interesting because in Korea, I think the reason Xbox should focus there. You want to know what the biggest platform in Korea is? In like South Korea, PC gaming. Xbox has an Apple PC. I think that is just, I don't know. I feel like it would make a lot of sense to start trying to do more advertising, trying to do more like pushes over in Korea to like really show yourself like as the big player in that region, along with your like PC division. Like I don't, to me, that makes sense. They probably had talks over there. Maybe like they don't want to divulge the resources. There's not enough like market that they can like really take over in Korea. But I think it would be. I will say overall, I think Korea is such a good blossoming market to start like really going hard in because you need more game developers, you need more studios, and like Korea is right there for the picking.
And this is I don't know if anyone's gonna know what I'm about to talk about. Do you never remember doesn't PlayStation have this like indie project going on in certain countries? Like they have the India Hero Project.
Yeah.
Do they have one in Korea? I know there's like 2 other countries now.
This is a weird thing to search up. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I don't know why I
what
just thought about that, but I'm like, I feel like one was somewhere in South America. I don't know. I know the Indian one for sure. And I know there's like 1 or 2 more. And like it may like I'm interested to see what comes out of like these little partnership like things that Sony's doing with these I don't think a game has come out of the India Hero Project, but they call them incubator programs. That's really what they call them.
Oh,
It's a program focused on identifying and supporting emerging talent from the region.
Oh, you said Indie Hero. I thought you said. Oh, no, India. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, India here. But I can't remember the other country. I know there's at least one other country. I just can't. And for some reason, like Korea
Uh,
was in my mind, but maybe I'm just crazy. Either way, if it
Uh,
isn't, it would be cool to see them add that to there. If they like did, because obviously they're investing in that region.
it's interesting to say the least. I think this is something we're gonna see like over the next few years. Is like their stronger views into trying to get into the Korean region and trying to get more and more players over there, and also get more game developers to join them to create games for the states. Because like we saw how well Liza P did, and I think like PlayStation's looking at that developer maybe not like as an acquisition, but as a hey, maybe for your next game you can like we'll really help you out next time, something like that. Maybe they do go acquiring mode. Like that is a possibility. It's going to be interesting to watch PlayStation's moves in
I would say the
Korea
last,
for the next few years.
specifically for the NCSoft stuff, is like this kind of just confirms that Horizon MMO that they
Yeah,
talked
for
about
sure.
last year, like that people were like leaking and talking about last year. Like if you have that a whole
I mean, that
year,
game,
like literally all of an entire year ago, that
we
was
saw
like in the
gameplay of
news.
that.
Yeah, and there was leaked gameplay, and the fact that like now PlayStation and NCSoft are in like an official agreement together, like that game's coming. Which hopefully it's cool. Like it
I
just
hope
sounds
it's
cool
cool.
on
Yeah.
paper, and like NCSoft knows how to make
I love the game.
MMOs, or not MMO, yeah, MMOs.
Yeah, I got MMOs. Yeah, that type of like genre, that area specialty.
It will be interesting.
Well, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch. Another thing I'm really interested in watching is the slow comeback story of Cyberpunk 2077. There was a new update today.
Don't
Literally
lie to
today.
our audience.
What do you mean lie? What am I lying about? It's the comeback story, man. It's nominated for
the
best.
comeback kids.
Yeah.
This update's not out to the 5th, but yeah.
It's not out today. When is it
No,
out?
it's out the 5th. I'm pretty sure.
Why the fuck
December
are they
5th.
putting the details then? I hate this company.
Because this was the announcement today. Like they announced all this. They had the screen.
Well, if you're gonna put out an update, just release it. You don't have
We're
to
just not
announce an
ready.
update. Well, no, I mean I'm saying just wait.
But the point was that they just like this was just like a. For one, no one knew this was coming. This is not a shadow drop, but this was like they said 2.0 was the last update they were doing for the game. Like Phantom Liberty was supposed to be done, and this just came out of nowhere. So I think it's cool. But yeah, they tweeted out last night.
No, I'm
like,
not. I'm not that upset about it. I'm not gonna ask like that.
Yeah, they tweeted out yesterday like, "Hey, we have a
Stay
stream
tuned.
tomorrow. Yeah, stay tuned for like this special stream." And then yeah, they announced all this for like it's either the 6th or the 5th. It's next week. I know it's not out yet.
Well, it is going to be coming out soon. Here's some of the details. Metro system officially added, guys. You remember that first trailer where they showed him on a train, V on a train?
Yeah, be on the train, man. We're
We
getting
can
there.
finally be on the train. We did
I can
it.
finally
boys.
go there. You see that mountain? I can go there.
Portable radio to listen to music outside of vehicles. Come on, no, I don't like that. It loses the sanctity. Like it's like, oh, when I get into a car in like GTA, it's like, oh hell yeah, I get to listen to the radio. Now
To
it's
be
just
real
everywhere.
honest, this is a real honest hour. I'm 60 hours into the game. I don't know how to work the radio still. So, I have no idea what button I'm supposed to press on my keyboard to turn the radio on or off. So it just like if I get in the car and the radio's on, I'm like, oh cool. If it's not on, I don't know how to turn it on. So
I mean, you probably check key bindings for that one.
I mean, I definitely could find it if I wanted it bad enough, but like I'm usually every time I'm in a car, I'm talking to like another character. So
Yeah, that's fair enough. Repeatable street racing side activity. Hang out with romantic partners, aka just Pan Am, because Judy sucks. New vehicles
that's
and
crazy.
motorcycles. It's true.
Just
You do
go
not
on.
get.
Nope. Just go on. Go on.
You are only. Do not lie to me, Fusion. You only go with Judy because you playing female V like a
Nope, I would
nerd,
have picked her.
might I
I
add.
would have picked her.
No, you are so weird.
I would've
Everyone likes
picked
Pan
her.
Am more. Like this is like this is not a hot take.
Friend of the show, Colin, disagrees. So that's all you gotta know.
I'm also female V.
You don't get
These are
to
the
say
saviors, bro.
friend of the
Pan
show.
Am's best, bro.
No,
Pan
Pan
Am
Am's
is
cool.
so much better.
She's
Pan
not
Am's
Judy,
cool.
though.
Literally, what about Judy is better? In what ways?
She's like a crazy tech woman. Like Phantom's just like, I'm a nomad that hates everything about being a nomad. Shut up.
I can say that about Judy. I can say that about Judy.
No.
Oh, she's just a tech woman who only likes tech.
No,
I don't know.
like Judy, like I don't know. That's an argument for a different day.
Yeah. Let's move on. New vehicles and motorcycles, improved motorcycle mechanics now can do wheelies and tricks, improved boss fights like Atom Smasher, new car chases, messing with gang members now lead to a car chase. You can rest assured they'll come look for you. Okay. New accessibility settings and full DualSense support on PC. Interesting update, to say the least. Fusion, any more of that get you really excited other than the Metro, obviously?
I think the hangouts are pretty cool, just because like I feel like not many games do. I don't know how in depth the hangouts with your romance like partners are gonna go, but I think that's cool that like it's more than
I'm
just
surprised that wasn't in the game.
calling them or texting them. Like at least you like I can actually go and do stuff with them. Hopefully, like missions and stuff. That would be cool. But my thing is, it's cool that it's just this is a lot of cool content that people have asked for that just dropped out of nowhere. Basically, like I said, it was a surprise. Like they just get so like it's just cool to see like we know half the team now is over at like on the next Witcher project. More than half the team working away. So it's cool to see like
there we can move into that story if you want to.
Yeah, my last point is just like it's cool to see that they're obviously done basically with Cyberpunk, but they're still like, hey, like we did everything we could. This felt like the last like gift, not really a gift, but like something where it was just like, hey, thanks for all the players that like believed in us over the last 3 years of like going through what we had to go. Like obviously they can only blame themselves, but it's cool to see like, hey, this is like the final. Like Phantom Liberty was so awesome, but this is the final like send off where we're like, hey, players have asked for this since the beginning. Like diehard fans, here you go. Like let's get this before we move on to like The Witcher and everything else.
Yeah, like I talk so much shit about Cyberpunk because like I played it at launch. I thought it was awful, but like I have to give respect where respect's due. This is the same thing with No Man's Sky, where that game launched in a horrible state, and then they said, you know what, we're gonna fix the game, and they fixed the game, and it looks like that's the same thing with Cyberpunk, and that's very good to hear. I think at the end of the day, like what people are like, oh, you shouldn't forgive them, you know, like they should have launched the game like this. And it's like, yeah, that's true. That's honestly fair. But also, I think it's fair to say, at least give kudos, like, hey, at least you went back. At least you went. They very easily, because they spent hundreds of millions to like actually get this to the state it is now. So they very easily could have just said, you know what, it didn't work out. Fuck Cyberpunk. That game's done. We are now moving on to Witcher. And I'm glad they actually stayed behind and said, you know what, no, let's actually fix Cyberpunk.
Especially when you have a franchise like Witcher, when like they knew all they had to do was move on and announce a Witcher 4 and it sell millions. Like I mean, it's not like they were in any trouble. All they would have to do would be like, "Hey, Witcher 4 is coming," and people would be like, "Okay." Like, so yeah, it's cool that they're getting credit. Obviously, they're at TGA Awards for like ongoing gaming and all that. And I'm not saying, obviously, there's going to be certain fans that will never trust them again, and that's fair. Like that is 100% fair. That like they had promises at launch that completely failed, and like they lied in some regards with like the old gen version, and like all this stuff happened. So it's totally fair to if you're a fan and you're just like, I'm never going to trust them again. Like day one at least. Like maybe you buy the next CD Projekt Red game, but like 6 months down the line because you can't trust that launch. But it's still cool that they were like, yeah, we're not going to give up. Like as a company, they could have just, like you said, moved on. But I feel like they probably did so much growing as just people and humans going through what they had to go through. Like, it's a cool story overall, and it's annoying when people are just like, the game was bad at launch. Who cares? Move on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just annoying when people write them off.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I don't hold grudges. You know, I'm a very, very optimistic person.
Yeah, good joke.
But okay, moving on. Speaking of Witcher 4, Benji Sales had this. For the first time, the biggest group of CD Projekt development resources is now on the next Witcher game, codenamed Polaris. Looks like the next Witcher title is now in heavy production mode. I did want to kind of bring this up. Fusion, do you think, like, what is this release date? Like, how do you feel like, when are we seeing Witcher 4 and when are we getting Witcher 4?
2026.
Seeing it, probably late next year. Like very late, like at TGA
Really?
2024.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
like seeing if they because
No.
I think the game's fall 2025.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So,
because
like,
the question is that when the game
They
releasing,
just
when are we
entered.
seeing this?
no, I
Yeah,
said
didn't
wait,
you
wait.
just start?
I
Hang
said
on,
seeing
did-
like a trailer.
Fusion, that's a 2-year development cycle basically. If it's heavy
No,
production
they've
now,
been, I not. I mean, I could see it be 2026, but either way, like even though it's 2026, you're seeing
No,
it within the next 18 months. Like,
So I think
you'll get a logo.
we're gonna
You'll
see
get a
it.
logo.
is that's seeing it to me?
We already got a logo.
Well,
No, we never
you'll
got
get
a
a bigger
logo.
you'll get a bigger logo.
We don't
We
know
got
what the
the
game.
cat.
We don't know what the
We got
game's called yet. Yeah, the cat.
We got
Is,
the
that's
there's a
whatever.
new Witcher school.
That's not the logo, bro.
There's a new Witcher school. Fake fan head ass.
No, the
Anyways,
Witcher. Wait,
That's crazy.
the
Bro
fact you
just
don't know
showed
this
you
is
up on your
insane.
favorite franchise. God
that's not
damn.
even true.
It is true. You can look this up right now. You can have one on lose.
School of the
Witcher
Cat is not a
school.
new Witcher
And the
school.
medallion. There's a
Yes,
there's
the
a
cat is
different
not a new
school.
Witcher school. I know, but it's
Yeah,
not
it
a new
is.
Witcher school to the. It is not a new Witcher school. To
The
the
new
franchise.
Witcher school to the games because we've been following the wolf.
I understand that, but the School of the Cat is talked about in the video games. It's talked about in the
I'm not
TV
saying it's
show.
brand new.
It's
I'm
talked
saying
about
that
in
we're
the
gonna be following somebody from the cat school, not the wolf one. That's what they showed. That's the new logo.
which it should be series, but that's a different for whatever.
God, it
You're not
should
gonna
be
get
there.
it. It's true. I
Tired of
think they're
Geralt's
gonna
fucking
show this game. Like
crusty
the
ass.
first time we actually see it, mid to late 2025, and then it's not
Yeah,
dropping until like 2027, 2028.
No, I don't think it's that late. I think
There's no way it's that
to
far out.
me, I can
I think-
see like a logo at like the next year TGA maybe, but actually getting the game, I don't think that's until 2026.
No, I think they're gonna look at The Witcher 3 and be like, we're gonna do bigger and better.
No, they're
And they're
not
gonna need
going
time for
bigger than
that.
Witcher 3. They're not. I promise you, they're not going bigger than Witcher 3. They would not.
They're
Look at
gonna
CD Projekt
have
Red.
to.
They have never made a game on the Witcher 3 level but Witcher 3. Never once. Every
they
single
made
game they
Bro,
made is quality to 40.
everybody's gonna go
Cyberpunk's a
into The
night-
Witcher 4 or whatever they're gonna call it.
You can beat Cyberpunk in
looking at The
19
Witcher
hours.
3. I
Well,
beat
no,
it in 15,
okay.
bro.
Cyberpunk. The big thing with Cyberpunk though is that they wanted to make a giant city, like very lived in and everything. I feel like they're wanting to do like bigger than Witcher 3 even.
No,
I
they won't.
can't imagine that it's like,
I'm
oh,
putting
for the next
all
Witcher
my
game we're
marbles
going
they don't do that.
smaller.
They're gonna
I'm
look
telling
at The
you.
Witcher 3 and be like, we did everything good with this, everything right, and we're gonna go bigger and better. There is no way they're not gonna do that.
You just
There's
gotta
going
hire
to
a few
be.
combat designers. that's all.
It's going to be Witcher 1 to 2 size. There's no way CD Projekt Red's not out of their mind. They're
There's
not going to be
no-
like, they're not going to say, hey, we're putting 3 of these Witcher 3 size video games in 6 years. They said these games
Oh,
are
yeah,
coming out.
they're
6
not.
years
They should have
apart.
lied to you. They're not coming out in the 6 year.
I think
No,
you're
okay.
just delusional. Even
can't imagine
Cyberpunk,
that's the case.
the map is 6 times smaller than Witcher 3. The game is twice as small as Witcher 3.
The
Like,
thing is, Cyberpunk's a brand new IP. It's not trying to be
Cyber-
The Witcher 3. Or the
Also,
next Witcher.
Cyberpunk's
This
still-
is the next Witcher.
Yeah, Fusion, you're saying all this, but Cyberpunk still took 5 years after Witcher 3, and also that game wasn't ready at launch.
so I don't think I genuinely don't think CD Projekt Red will ever make a Witcher 3 size video game.
They're gonna do it with Witcher 4. I'm telling you.
Okay, no,
There's no way they
I could
don't.
see. Maybe okay. Here's the thing. I think maybe they could go smaller than Witcher 3, but it's not gonna be like it's not like okay, we're going back to linear like we did with Witcher 1 and 2. It's still
I
gonna be
never said
open
that.
world.
Yeah, it probably will be open world. I just do not think it's going like the world size
think
is
it is
not
the
like
Witcher 3
Witcher gigantic. It's one of the biggest maps like ever made.
Yeah, they're gonna do it again.
There's no way.
142 square kilometers. What's that in comparison to GTA 5?
Like when you mention Cyberpunk, you got one thing going on, brand new IP, whatever. Well, if you can even call it that.
We're no IP,
You
but
get
they
The
have.
Witcher 4. All eyes are gonna be on. Okay, what came before it? The Witcher 3. You gotta top that.
I just don't believe it. I think you, especially if you're moving on from Geralt, like you just do your own thing.
GTA
doing their
5
own
is
thing.
80 square kilometers. Wow, that's crazy. Witcher 3
Yeah,
is almost
but
double
Witcher-
GTA 5's.
Yeah, it's gigantic. Wait, people don't realize how big Witcher 3 is. Like that game is gigantic.
I knew how big it was, but that's what's so weird because they were still like I don't want to say a small studio, but they were smaller than you would like the big like Ubisoft
They kind
size
of just whipped
studios.
out their own version
2015.
of like. They pulled the Baldur's Gate and came out of nowhere. The 30th installment.
Yeah, really. That's because like no one ever talked about Witcher before Witcher 3. It was crazy.
I think they're going. I don't know. I mean, maybe, like I said, you could be right, but I truly believe it's going to be 3 like 30 to 40-hour video games instead of 3 100-hour
There's
video
no way.
games.
I
Okay.
100%
Okay.
disagree.
Okay. That's fine.
Hey,
We're
for
agree
anyone
to
watching,
disagree.
make sure to put a note on this podcast. We'll see who wins. We can bet, I don't know, money, $100,000. I think that's fair.
We
But
can.
yeah.
$100,000. We can put that bet down.
Easy money, bro.
God, you guys are gonna be homeless.
Not you guys.
One of you is.
I'm safe.
I hope you're a Texas citizen by then, bro.
I'm safe, bro. I'm safe.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I understand I understand Dark's like they have to go bigger than Witcher 3, but they just don't, and they can, like you can't. Can
Well,
you go bigger than Witcher 3? I don't understand how you
Can.
can.
Here's my thing. I think you're right that they don't have to go bigger. I feel like they think they have to go bigger. I feel like CD Projekt and especially like the publisher are like, you have to go bigger than Witcher 3. You have to do a Witcher 3 size game again. That's what you do. That's the game
You're not
that's
even
like
that,
put
right?
us on the map.
You gotta talk
Witcher
about
3 is one of the
Cyberpunk.
best-selling games.
Cyberpunk's a big part of this. Cyberpunk was a failure when it first came out, right? And when people think about Cyberpunk, the first thing they think about, well, one of the first things is that failure. They're gonna come out the gate with this game, whatever the fuck it's called. Maybe it's just called Witcher. And they're gonna be like, guys, this is it.
Holy shit.
It's not gonna be a mistake. They gotta blow it up the park.
And you know how to make it a not
That being
mistake. They
said-
make sure it's a good
being said-
size, not gigantic video game
It's
that
not gonna
will
come out
take
anytime
8
soon.
years.
This thing's like, it's gonna take a long time. You gotta let them cook.
Real quick, I just searched it up. How much do you think Witcher 3 has sold? Just
a
all
lot.
around.
It's over 50 million, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
This Dork Fusion immediately knew.
I know.
God.
Witcher's one.
It
As
was in
a
the news
franchise,
recently.
it's like
Yeah, it
85
is.
million, bro. Like Witcher
in the news
is an
recently.
important franchise.
I mean, I feel like I never heard of Witcher before Witcher 3. Like I'm
No,
just.
I'm in the same boat. I didn't know about it until Witcher 3.
I read the books. That's the only reason I know about it.
You nerd.
Oh my.
I mean, I guess.
Nerd.
I like The Witcher. It's
It's
probably
like
my
I knew
favorite
of
franchise.
Witcher 2 back in like the days of the 360, just because of I think Achievement Talk or something kind of was around it, but I didn't really pay attention to it.
Like, think of the
Witcher-
Netflix show at one point was the most successful Netflix season. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah, it was
first
huge.
season with like The Witcher is people love The Witcher, which is why like. I mean,
On
I
Netflix,
don't
some
know
of
what
that is crazy.
Wait. You're in the minority? What Fusion? Finish your sentence.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think that's why it's I just don't. I'm trying to explain why I just don't see. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I can see them going smaller, but also I just feel like they're gonna have to go bigger. Like that's just what they think. They don't have to, but I feel like that's what they think.
All eyes is gonna be on this game, especially after what happened with Cyberpunk. And they're gonna be
Witcher
like,
3
guys,
sold 50 million units.
it's insane.
They're gonna look at that and it's like, well, what made us 50 million units of sales of our biggest open world game? I feel like they're gonna want to do that again.
So if
That's
anyone
my
from that company is listening to this, a big part of that was that the game was not broken at launch. So make
Yeah,
sure
please,
that's
please. Make sure it
That's
actually
really
works. Don't release. They're gonna release it on PS4, and Xbox One.
it's gonna blow up your house.
And one last thing about Cyberpunk. Benji Sales had this. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty has sold 4.3 million units since launch. CD Projekt has announced the expansion has a 20% attach rate. Honestly, that is. I'll tell you guys right now. I did not know CD Projekt games sold this well.
You were hating all these years. I'm telling you.
I will listen. You're right. I was a hater, but I'm also like I always was assuming like Witcher 3. It's like, oh, this sold like probably like 20, 25 million. Like that was kind of my assumption. Double that apparently. And then like I know Cyberpunk, like it was like 10 million in sales when it first came out, despite being broken. I was just shocked.
I think
when
Cyberpunk's up. Isn't Cyberpunk over 25 million already?
I could check right now.
That's a crazy
Cyberpunk
number.
sales. It has. Damn it! It's all the only game has sold over 25 million. You
That's
suck
I mean,
this
like
company's
25
cock.
million already.
How do you know that off the top of your head?
It comes from Rockstar. That's a little weird. They're playing every GTA game in the world 4 times.
Listen, we all have the company that we suck the cock of, okay? Moving on. Beyond Good and Evil, not two, no, not two. The 20th anniversary edition arrives early next year. This comes from Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer. Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition is arriving early next year. The news was accidentally posted early to the Xbox Store and was even briefly available to play, albeit in an unfinished form on Ubisoft Plus, according to its now deleted Xbox Store page, which was shared by Wario64 on X. The 2003 adventure will now feature 4K graphics and 60 FPS with improvements to controls and audio. It will also feature an autosave and cross-save functionality. Yeah, very exciting. I'm gonna be checking it out. I will be there, but it is interesting because Beyond Good and Evil is always kind of considered like this cult classic Ubisoft game from the GameCube, PS2 era that a lot of people swear by. It was the creative director is the creator of Rayman. I love Rayman. I'm a huge Rayman fan. Michel Ancel. And hey, you know what? Maybe this will tide us over until Beyond Good and Evil, which is Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is next year, right, guys?
Yeah, let's
I
go with
hope.
that.
You
You
know?
have a bad habit of lying to our audience right now.
Listen,
Someone's gonna
I
like
mean,
actually believe him. Like someone's gonna be like, wait, it's next year.
oh, what? They revealed
Where did I miss this
say in the
reveal?
say in the comments below if you believed me. Gotta get that engagement bit, you know. But yeah, very, very exciting. I'm gonna be checking it out. I don't know if y'all are gonna be checking it out.
I mean, if it comes like the Game Pass or something, sure, but I don't know if this kind of game is warranting a purchase.
Oh, brother, I will be buying that. Moving on. Idle Sloth had this one. This is something Dark wanted to talk about. Blizzard is reportedly asking Diablo 4 players if they're okay with $100 DLC. What the fuck? Blizzard is seemingly trying to work out how much they could charge for Diablo 4's next expansion.
Like, I
$100.
want all game developers listening. This is an example of what not to be. Who
It's
the fuck
more
is
expensive
gonna
than the
sell
game.
an expansion that
I mean,
is
this is like
smaller
an
than the
FAQ
base
thing.
game? So this is
Like,
insane that they're even contemplating this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's insane, but also it's never gonna happen. It's very much just
Oh, yeah,
something
I
they're
know,
like
but, like,
throwing out there as an idea.
These are what these people were thinking of. Blizzard needs help, okay?
It reminds me of the Take-Two CEO who was like, "Oh yeah, we should charge games dollars per minute or something like that." And everyone was like, "GTA 6 is gonna be like $150." It's like, no, he's literally just like in that investor call, he was literally just spitballing. He was just like, "Yeah, I think games should cost like that." It's not like, "Oh, okay, that's what GTA 6 is gonna be. It's gonna be like a subscription service." Like, no, guys, calm down. Like, I don't think like this is literally just like a lot of companies they do this thing where they just go, "What if we did $100 DLC?" Maybe they're asking fans like, "Hey, what if $100 DLC? Maybe that's the strategy. Like, what if you guys would be into it?" But yeah, I mean, I
Who
don't. This
would
is
be
never gonna
into it?
happen. Yeah, that's crazy. Like they're just saying like, I don't understand how you pose this question. Hey, fans, are you okay with $100 DLC? Who's saying, yeah, I am. I would like $100 DLC. No, they're gonna want it as cheap as possible. Very strange. Very strange. Moving on. This is an interesting one. This comes from Okami Games. He has both stories here. Dan Houser, Michael Unsworth, and Laszlo Jones are teaming up at a new studio, Absurd Ventures. These were three of the most important people at Rockstar Games. Unsworth just joined as head of story after leaving Rockstar in August. He's one of the three writers credited with writing Red Dead Redemption 2. And then he also had this. Dan Houser's new studio, Absurd Venture, announces two new universes coming in 2024. American Caper, a graphic novel illustrated by Simon Bisley, centers around two American families in a world of corruption. A Better Paradise, an existential. This is the second one. A Better Paradise, an existential suspense thriller set in the near future, a 12-episode audio fiction series based on the A Better Paradise universe. We were kind of talking about this in chat when it broke. It was just kind of funny thinking about like every studio person who like leaves a studio. Like Dan Houser worked on in Rockstar for like over 20 years, made all the GTA games. He leaves, he's like, oh, he's gonna make something new. He just makes GTA again. I don't know. I just think that's funny, but yeah, in general, I'm very excited for this. I think Dan Houser is a genius. I think that writing team, Michael Unsworth, Laszlo Jones, like these guys are some of the best in the business, and whatever they're making, I will be there. And the whole idea of like this extended universe is really interesting. I want to see where that goes. But yeah, I will fully support like whatever Dan Houser does.
I hope. I wonder. Do you think they keep? Do you think they bring over that? They have to, right? Like the GTA style writing, like the parody and all that.
I don't think they do that actually. I think if
Oh,
you
you
read
think?
the blurbs, because like it says centers around two American families in a world of corruption. It's 12-episode series based on the Better Paradise. I think what we look at, maybe there's some parody-esque writing, but I think this writing is going to be very closer to GTA 4. And if you remember, GTA 4 is very grounded, very like crime thriller style writing, with obviously the parody aspects of GTA. But I don't think it's going to be nearly as parody focused as GTA.
Okay, I believe it.
I do think the comedy is going to be good, though. I've always been a fan of Dan Houser's comedic writing, and that whole team understands comedy really well. But yeah, I will be there.
No matter what.
Moving on. No matter what. Moving on. Level 5 had a presentation. There's a quick roundup. This comes from Jim Norman over at Nintendo Life. They showed Megaton Musashi Riard. That's going to be coming onto Switch 25th of April 2024. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. I think this was actually in a Nintendo Direct, if I remember correctly. That's coming to Switch next summer. They actually showed off kind of how much better the game looks in general from the original, so that's going to be exciting. I'm going to be interested in that one. Inazuma 11 Victory Road beta period will finally kick off and Switch in March 2024. And then Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. This was one of the big headlines. This will not be released until 2025. That was kind of one of the things people were surprised about. And Deca Police, the other big delay here, unshockingly, is not going to come out in 2023, guys, but is going to be pushed back to some point in 2024. So, pretty interesting presentation. Obviously, the two big headliners, Deca Police and Professor Layton. I am surprised. So I'm not surprised by Professor Layton being 2025. I know Moon, you said you were surprised by that.
It just seemed like, why did they announce it already back in that Nintendo Direct if this is now a 2025? Like, it doesn't seem like that big of a game. Like, what did they need all of 2024 for if they've already been working on it for a while?
I think they want to make sure that this one actually nails it, because like Professor Layton was like pretty one of their bigger franchises for a while, and then it just kind of died. And I think they want to make sure like this return is actually a lot bigger than what we're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it just kind of baffled me. I'm like, really, like this game needs a whole another year. Like they didn't even say like early 2025. They just said 25. This could be like a holiday kind of 2025, which is just nutty to me.
Hey, joining it right there with damn, I was gonna say Silk Song, but I can't do Fusion 30 like that. Deca Police though, that why did they wait so long to say it's 2024?
Yeah, no,
Is
it's
he ever
literally the
thinking
last
about it?
month of the year.
But yeah, I'm excited for both games. I played a little bit of Professor Layton. I feel like I didn't get it at the time, but I feel like if I played it now, I'd actually be super interested. So, and Deca Police looks awesome. I'm really excited for that one. Next one, Stalker 2. We got a new trailer, at least from what I can assume, a new trailer. At the very least, we got a lot of details. Idlesoft had this one. Xbox Series X will offer 2 graphical modes. Focus will be on 60 FPS performance mode. More information on quality mode will be used later, as the game is still being optimized. Unreal 5 gives us global lighting system that allows us to achieve more realistic day-night transitions and multiple weather environments. The main story takes about 40 hours. Jesus. The main storyline has 4 endings. Side tasks will also have different results based on the player's decisions, and some side tasks will affect the main plot in some way. There will be auto and manual saves. Why is that a detail? Whatever. There is a stealth mode where you can use your knife to kill. Headshots are one-shot kill, and the final polish of the game will take a while. It's hard to say how close we are to actually finishing the game. Yo, this game looks good. I am thoroughly excited for this one, and it's a Game Pass game. Like, your ass, my ass is going to be jumping on that one. Obviously, this game got delayed for quite a bit because of the Ukrainian war and everything going on over there. This was a Ukrainian studio, but it looks like they were able to kind of get back on their feet, and it looks like this game is coming along really well. I'm very, very excited to see what they do with this.
Did you watch the trailer that they revealed like yesterday with this news?
I have not seen the trailer.
It's a good one. Every trailer they've shown so far from this game has like they just nailed the vibes. They have. I feel like the faces looked really good also in this trailer. They showed off like more of the faces and like the characters. Like I just feel like I've never played a Stalker game. I know like
Yeah,
people
me
love
neither.
the Stalker games. I've never played them. And I probably never like I was like thinking I'm like should I go back and play the old ones? But like I looked at them. I'm like these guys look rough. Like they're pretty old and they're just
That's my specialty. I'm
they're just I
jumping
don't
on
know.
that
I don't even know
one.
if they're on console. I assume they are, but
Yeah, they are.
it was just but
Those
like every time this game shows up, I'm just like reminded like this is going to be a really good video game. I think.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like I mean the fact that it's 40 hours with 4 different endings. I hope
Yeah,
that
40
doesn't
hours
mean
is
it's gonna
crazy.
be bloated. Yeah, but I don't know. Everything I see out of this game it looks phenomenal. I remember when they first showed the gameplay demo and everyone was just like, "Oh, that's fake." It's like I don't know if it's fake, guys. I think this actually is just the gameplay.
I think this game's gonna be like I'm trying to what's like the really big show pieces like graphics wise for the Xbox. Forza
I
obviously
mean,
always looks good.
Starfield. No.
Starfield doesn't look great.
I
I
mean,
feel like this
if
is
you're
gonna
talking
be
about
their big
graphics,
like
Graphically, it would have to be
graphically
Hellblade.
like yeah, Hellblade 2 probably. But I think
yeah,
this
well,
is gonna
that's
come out
gonna
before
be it.
Hellblade 2, I assume.
Oh, really?
Well they said they still Q1 2024.
I mean, the thing is, it's like the final polish of the game will take a while. It's hard to say how close we are to actually finishing the game. That's the quote. But I mean, if it is still Q1, I mean, do you think maybe a March release date? Like, I think that's the
Quarter
most
one's too
possible one.
fall.
Oh god.
Like late March would be cool for this game, I feel like.
Right next to
March.
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, actually, I forgot. Actually,
Yeah.
no, they could. It wouldn't matter. They're two
They wouldn't. Yeah,
completely different
they
video
wouldn't
games.
need
Like,
for each other. Yeah. I
but
think
yeah,
early
I mean,
March. It's more for me personally because I want to play both games.
like even screenshots they showed like 2 years ago. Like every screenshot I see from this game, I'm like, visually, I'm like, I don't believe your game looks this good. Like, what's
Yeah,
the
it's
catch?
insane.
Like, and the fact that they said in that tweet they were talking about they're focusing on like performance mode on like 60 FPS. Like they know how like they got the FPS down. They know it's a first
Yeah.
person shooter. You need like that, but like the fact that they're saying this and also everything I've seen of the game looks like gorgeous. It's like I
I'm
haven't.
glad they're.
Who's making it
I'm,
again?
it's a Ukrainian studio. I'm glad that one thing they haven't said anything about performance mode because they straight up are just like, yeah, we're still working on it. And it's like that's good to know. It's like don't set our expectations unrealistically. It's like, oh yeah, in performance mode, it's gonna be 60 FPS too. And then it comes out, it's like it's not 60 FPS. But they're just like, no, actually, we'll let you know when we're actually done like working on it. I think at this point the game is practically done. They're just in fully like polishing it up and making sure it is the best possible product. And I think it's going to be a good one.
The dev team, by the way, is GSC Game World. Like, who was ever gonna guess that? GSC Game World.
That was on the tip of my tongue.
Oh yeah, you're gonna guess that. You're like, oh, I knew that. Like, that's it. I was just trying to see, like, have they only ever worked on like the Stalker games?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you can look at the development history on Wikipedia.
'Cause I don't know what
Trust
their
me.
last game they made, but I'm trying to think of like, were they always this good at like graphical quality? Because like this game, like I keep saying, but like
I mean, you say it about Stalker 1. That game did look really good at the time.
I would say when did Stalker 1 come out in like two? I don't even know when it came out. It was the
Um,
2006 or something.
yeah, 2007.
Okay.
But no, I mean, you say it looked rough. Dude, Stalker 1 at that time looks insane. Like, there were some really cool things they were doing over there.
Yeah, this is their first game since 2016 when they made. Was it Cossacks? Cossacks 3? Cossacks 3?
Oh, yeah, that's a classic game.
Yeah, it's a real-time strategy video game.
No, real-time strategy, it's over, guys.
That was their last game in 2016. But before that, it was 4 straight Stalker games. So like since 2007, it's been 4 Stalker games, that RTS, and this. Like it's been eight
Yeah,
years
they've been
since they
working on
made
this
another
for a
game.
while.
So that's
Yeah.
cool to see.
Yeah, I will say, talking about Stalker, it did remind me. There have been rumors of the new Metro game showing up at TGA. Do you guys think that's the case?
Oh wow, I hope not. Yeah, because I have to play I still have
Whoa.
to play the other Metro games.
Oh yeah,
selfishly,
okay, I thought you were like,
I don't. Oh no, like Metro's cool, but I'm selfishly, it's like let me play your other video games first, please.
I agree. I thought you were gonna say it's like, yeah, because Metro Exodus, that game sucked ass.
No, but Metro Exodus was one of those games.
It
That
looks
every time I
incredible.
saw it, I'm like, dude, I want to play this game, but I just never got to it, or
Same.
any of the other Metro games.
Metro always looked like kind of just like the Fallout game, but like the non-Fallout developers.
Russian
But
Fallout.
yeah,
But
Russian
yeah.
Fallout.
Yeah.
That's it. But I'm also like, it takes place in like subway tunnels. It's like that's it could have done more interesting aesthetic than that, but okay. I heard good things about Exodus though. But yeah, that's up there on my list to play those games. Another game that's on my list is more Resident Evil games, and Capcom says we're gonna be getting some more remakes.
As they should.
This goes from IGN. After the success of Resident Evil 2 and 3 and 4 remakes, Capcom has confirmed plans to continue the trend, although stopped short of announcing which Resident Evil game is next in line for the remake treatment. As the PlayStation Partner Award event in Japan attended and translated by IGN Japan, Resident Evil 4 remake director Yasuhiro Anpo said the company will announce its next Resident Evil remake in due course. Quote, yes, Anpo replied when asked if Capcom wants to keep making Resident Evil remakes. We've released 3 remakes so far, and they've all been received very well. Since it allows a modern audience to play these games, it is something I'm happy to do as someone that loves these older games, and we want to continue doing more. What game will you remake in the future is something that we would like to announce in the future, so please look forward to it. Y'all, what a shocker! What a shocker! I think they're
If
gonna
that
do
game
5
sell well,
for
we'll
Code
keep
Veronica.
making them.
Nah, so
Yeah.
I think they're 100% gonna get to 5 and 6. 6 is gonna be really interesting. They're gonna change that game, but then Code Veronica is the next logical.
I mean, yeah, Code Veronica.
The only thing, do not let the Resident Evil 3 team solo a game again.
God,
Look, the game
No.
is good. Okay, it's not a bad game. It's a bad remake because they cut out
Yeah.
like 3/4 of the game.
Here's the funny thing about Resident Evil 3. Originally, it was going to be RE2 and 3 remake combined. That's why they came out so close together, like literally a year apart from both games. So
I mean,
I don't know what happened
yeah.
there.
I know
don't know, it
RE2 has something cut from it as well, but like it is not to the RE3 remake is a short game. Beat it in one setting. It is
RE3.
really short. Like they cut out
It's
so much of that game.
I did not
And
like
then
that game.
they justified the price, but they still charge full price. They justified the price by that shitty multiplayer game that like 10 people played.
God. No, my viewpoint on like, I feel like Resident Evil is such a flip flop franchise for me as of late. Because like I love 7, I love 2 remake, and then 3 remake came out, and I was like, this is bad. And then Village came out, and I was like, this is awful. I did not like Village.
I like Village. I liked it.
I
was
like
goofy.
it. Like it's not a bad game, but I was like, we're focusing on combat. And it's like that's not why I play these games. They listened to the feedback that people were getting too scared and not beating the game. Yeah, because it's a fucking horror game. Of course they were getting scared. That's a good thing. Whatever.
You know what it is? I can tell you what it is. After
Tell me.
6 is where like it really started having the issue with like it is full blown action.
Yeah.
6
That's
is an
just
action adventure. It is insane. So the feedback was like, okay, maybe we should go back to horror, and that's when they started the storyline. It has, but then they did the remakes. People want more games in line with the remakes. That's more like standard survival horror, not whatever 6 was. Even though I enjoy 6, but 6 is like the most fun I've ever had in gaming. Co-op is just so fucking stupid.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of
they
funny
need to give
because
a more serious tone.
I feel like because 5 was very much an action game too. That game didn't get much shit. Like it got shit
a
out.
more serious tone. 6 gets
Well, yeah.
ridiculous.
No, it's
there's
like,
so much shit happening. It's like
I feel like the thing with 5 is that like I would argue that's one of the best co-op games of all time. Like that game
me
is
too.
so much fun.
No, I agree. It is
And,
some
like,
of the
I
most
think
fun I've had in
that's-
co-op thing. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
And like if 5 has really goofy moments like Chris punching a boulder is now iconic.
Dude, imagine that in 4K 60 FPS. Oh, bro.
Look, you're gonna remake RE5. The boulder punching better be there.
Dude, if they remove the boulder punching, it's a bad game. Like I don't care. I don't make the rules. But yeah, very excited for more Resident Evil remakes. Always had a good time with those. Moving on. Phil Spencer interview. They had Jez Corden had an interview with Windows Central with big boy Phil Spencer, our favorite person, friend of the show. God, I wish. Clobril had a big roundup. Phil Spencer, no plans to bring Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo. I'll just ask right now. Shocked?
So I want to say,
my life is
I love
ruined
Phil.
with Phil Spencer saying
I
this
love
to me.
Phil, but he's saying this after he asked them. This is less of like saying, "Oh yeah, we have no plans." This is more him saying, "Yeah, they said no."
No, they said no, of course, yeah. Because like why okay, Game Pass is like at the end of the day, Xbox consoles are like your delivery method. Like, Game Pass, that is what you're selling as a service.
Yeah.
Why would
They don't
PlayStation
look
go,
at the
"I
competitors.
put it on PlayStation? put that's like saying, oh yeah, buy a PlayStation and then buy an Xbox inside of your PlayStation and spend money on the Xbox games. Like, why would PlayStation say yeah to that? And like Nintendo, God, Nintendo of course isn't gonna say yeah. That's funny. Wants Xbox console players to feel great about their investment now and in the future. Quote, there's a hardware roadmap, there's a service roadmap, maybe there's even a roadmap for improvements to Xbox achievements. Okay, Phil, all you need to do, just give us the platinum trophy equivalent for achievements. Why is that not a thing yet? I feel like they kept saying it was going to be a thing, and they just never added it. I'm the only one who
teasing
cares.
like updating achievements for like forever.
They say this like every year they're gonna update achievements and they still don't do it. It's just like, come on, what's taking so long? He's like, Sony's like, here's a platinum trophy, boom. And it's like, that's all you need to do. You don't even have to improve it. There you go. Roadmap for the Xbox family plan still exists. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I was hearing rumors that the family plan, kind of this whole like Game
In
Pass
honest
family plan deal.
places,
Yeah, and like I heard that like,
Everyday
oh yeah,
like it.
that's not gonna come out. Yeah, of course it's a good thing, but also it's like I heard a lot of people saying like, yeah, Xbox is planning on like ditching it basically, for at least like not
Didn't Paris
utilizing it
Lily
in
say
the
that?
US. Yeah, I think
I'm
it was
quoting
Paris Lily.
Paris Lily. I'm quoting him on the show. On our show. Pretty sure,
Quoting.
yeah. He just said that. He just said like he heard that family stuff was like completely out. Like they're just done with it.
Yeah, which is interesting because Phil here saying that it is still a thing. So now I'm like, okay,
the thing
We
is-
all know, you can't trust the CEO of Xbox. Come on.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So
I mean-
there was also that situation where this was a couple weeks back that employees at Microsoft were no longer getting Game Pass for free, and Phil didn't know about it, and he found out. He's like, wait a minute, I need to investigate. And I think like the next day it was reverted. So it's probably one of those
Phil's-
situations.
That's the thing. Phil's not omnipotent, so like he doesn't know because like Microsoft's a massive company. Xbox alone is massive, so probably there is a lot of plans for this stuff. And then like if it goes to Phil's desk, he's like, wait, actually, let's not do that, or let us do this. So, yeah, let us go with this. You know, it's a tough. It's tough running a company, surprisingly enough. Recognizes Xbox is now sitting on many interesting IPs. It's all about finding the right teams, being passionate about reviving these worlds at Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and Activision Blizzard. We haven't touched every franchise that people would love us to touch. Weird way to say it. Banjo fans, I hear you. Phil, you cannot just
you mean by
fucking
Phil?
say that.
Wait,
You
he
cannot
said
just
that
say
in
that.
I was
the
just
interview?
about to say, did Phil say that or did Wolf
He
say that?
No, he literally said that. Quote, we haven't touched every franchise that people would love us to touch. Again, weird quote. Banjo fans, I hear you. End quote.
PGA, it's coming.
It's not. No, you do not just say that. Who is making it? Who? Who's gonna make it?
You know, okay.
Toys for
It's
Bob.
gonna be Toys for Bob
I
because
wish.
they went to Phil went to them and they showed them like the list of IPs and shit that they had, and they asked them, "Do you want to work?" Without a doubt, it's Toys for Bob.
I'll still never forgive. I want Toys for Bob to do so bad. Toys for Bob. I mean, listen.
It's
I'm
most
just gonna
likely.
say this. Crash Bandicoot 4. That is. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's the best Crash game. Like it's better than the Naughty Dog Crash games. They just made the best Crash game, and
Yo,
Activision
Crash
was
is
like,
like an Xbox IP now. That's crazy.
yeah. Activision, Mr. Bobby Kotick was like, yeah, actually work on Call of Duty instead and make a shitty ass Call of Duty game again. You know, that's not nearly as good as Black Ops 2 because we're never gonna get anything better than Black Ops 2. Instead of making, I don't know, fucking Crash Bandicoot 5 or Spyro 4, maybe just work on those. But no, let's make another Call of Duty. I swear to God, Phil. We
Yeah,
better
he
get a
gave
Crash
free
game. We
choose.
better get a Spyro
I
game.
think,
And we
I think
better
it's
get.
happening.
We better fucking get Banjo. I'm sick of waiting. It's ridiculous. Like you have Banjo Kazooie. They are right there. They've been there for like you haven't utilized this dumbass Baron Bird, this great IP. Man, or Xbox is sitting here like, why can't we get into the family market? It's so weird. You have the IP. We can hate this company.
I trust in Phil. Look, Phil said that before he left, he was gonna get Final Fantasy 14. I trust him.
You better.
Phil's my boy.
Game Pass allows Xbox to support different kinds of games, different sizes of game, name drops, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and Grounded. You'll continue to see that diversity in the future, which I really hope for in that last part. Please allow that type of diversity to continue, and please allow companies like Infinity Ward and Treyarch maybe let them off the Call of Duty train for a little bit, and like
Let
I want
them
to see what
breathe.
Treyarch can do on their own. Exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in that interview, and that's pretty much everything in the news. Surprisingly packed news week, all things considered. Not going to be as packed as next week, I'll tell you guys right now.
There's a 5-hour podcast incoming.
God bless. We're going to go over what we've been playing now. And I want to give a public apology to Fusion. I skipped him last week, and I forgot to ask him what he's been playing.
No, just skip me again. You might as well, you know what I mean?
No, you're
Why are you
going.
saying that?
It was an accident. I mean, if Fusion
Oh,
even
Fusion,
said
why
like
didn't you
after, he said even after the podcast, it's like I'm tired.
No,
But
it's
now
fine.
you get to go first. You can talk all about Cyberpunk
Wow,
2077.
I'm actually not going to talk that long, but I said this and then somehow I'll rant for 20 minutes. This game is awesome. I'm just going to say that right here. I remember the first podcast we did about Cyberpunk. I was lower on it. We're like 2 weeks later. I'm 60 hours in, and this game rules. Like I'm honestly like in love with Cyberpunk as like a world now, and like the characters and what CD Projekt Red has done. And maybe I'm just a fanboy, like some people here are with Rockstar. Like I'm turning into that. I
Okay,
think.
what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm just sitting here.
Like it's crazy. Where like I went from like the first 5 hours being like, wow, this game's really good, to like there was a 2 to 3 hour mark in there where I was like, I'm not feeling it, to now just like the last 50 straight hours, I'm just like every day at work, I'm just like, man, I wish I could play Cyberpunk, or man, I wish I could do this quest in Cyberpunk. Like this
It's a
game,
good
like
feeling.
I wasn't there. I played for an hour at launch, and I refunded it from PlayStation. The only refund I'll ever get in PlayStation history. I understand like people who play that launch might not have grooved with the video game, but I think right now, after Phantom Liberty and probably after this 2.1 update that we talked about earlier, like this is the obviously definitive edition to play Cyberpunk, and this is a very, very good video game. And I think if anyone tried to play it at launch and they didn't finish it or they didn't get far, I think they should 100% try to go back and like experience this game, because like it has some of the best side quests I've played in years, like some of the best written characters that I've played with in years. Like this game is really, really good. It still has issues. The game's not perfect. It still doesn't have the RPG mechanics I want. Night City still doesn't feel like as live as I would want it, but like if you just play it in a way where you're just treating it as like I'm just going to get through, like I just want to learn about the world and the story and these characters, and you're just so focused on that stuff. Even the combat has picked up tremendously since I went into my actual build and like been turning into like a hacker build, and I'm like hacking into things. Like I don't know, I'm just like right now I am fully in love with this game, and I'm coming up to the very end. Like I could have beat it probably today if I didn't have to do 1,000 adult things, and I would have been talking about the ending, but I'm like 2 hours away from the ending, so I guess I'll talk about it next week if we have time on the podcast, which we probably won't.
We'll find time.
This game's just really awesome, and like you, Wolf, I think you should go back. I know you have a lot of games, and you don't have to go
Listen.
back soon, but I think at some point in your life, you should be like, hey, I should give this video game another chance.
I will.
I
At
think you would
some
really
point in
like
his
it.
life.
Yeah, I'm
Even
gonna be
if
like
10 years
50.
from now,
No,
before
like
Cyberpunk 2 comes out.
yeah, that's like 50 years from now. No, I don't know. For me, everything like what you're saying about the quests and the writing, I knew about that. That's what I played at launch. That was the cool parts. I was like, oh wow, this is a really cool quest. There's a really good writing. I really like Pan Am, all that. I hated the RPG mechanics and I hated the world. I not hated the world, but I hated going around that world. I thought from an RPG standpoint, at least specifically from a dialogue standpoint, it felt like none of my choices mattered. My background path didn't matter. Role playing was just not a thing. Also, the game was broken. That just adds another wrinkle into it. And I know it's all fixed, but like I have not heard anyone talk much about how the RPG, like straight up, that dialogue system has been improved. I don't hear anything about that. And that was like what I
I would,
wanted was I wanted an RPG. That's I don't know. I didn't get it out of this game.
I'll
And
say
then maybe
on the dialogue, Phantom Liberty has a lot of choices and like meaningful choices. Like they went hard on like, hey, we're
okay,
going to
that's a
finally give you that RPG stuff. Whereas like these choices, you know what I mean? Like they're actually giving you like choices where you're sitting there for like 5 minutes, you pause your game and like, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like those type of choices in
yeah.
video games where you're just
I
like
mean
Phantom
I
Liberty
like
has
that.
that.
No, yeah, exactly. Like you sell me on that, but I'm also I don't know, like the one thing you were never positive on, like in the first podcast, and I think I don't know if you still share the opinion, like 60 hours in, you were talking really hard about like the world and like there's not real much
Yeah,
reason to explore. There's not
there
much to
still
do out there.
isn't much to explore, but in a weird, it's so, I don't think I've ever had a video game like this, to be honest, where like I'm not actively exploring it, but I love being in it. Does that make sense? Where I'm like, I'm
No,
not
I get
actively
that.
like I'm going to go do this random scanner event or this stuff because it's not important enough, but like just walking around the city or just like getting from my mission, like walking with the characters to the next quest area, like all that just feels so like I'm more invested in Night City now in the Cyberpunk world where I'm like, I don't care about the random side stuff CD Projekt Red as threw onto the map as like bloat and filler. I don't have the exploration of like, oh, I see that building over there. I'm gonna go look at it because that's not how the game. I don't think it was ever intended that way, and I think it was just
It's a background.
marketed. Yeah, marketed wrong, and also they just made Witcher 3, which the exploration is very important in that video game. Like
Yeah.
when I'm taking it
They
away,
nailed
where
it.
I'm like, yes, they nailed the vibe of just being like, hey, you're a merc in Night City, like just go out there. You know what I mean? But they didn't nail the like you should want to explore every nook and cranny. But every time I'm like in a place, I'm taking it all in, and I'm like, wow, this is real. Like they crafted it tremendously. Like the interior designs are awesome. Like they put time in everything they put into this world, even if it's like no reward for exploring it.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
if
so-
you're this into Night City and all this, and you want the best of what Cyberpunk has to offer, you
He's
have
not
to
gonna
watch
watch
Give me
it.
a TV
Winners.
show.
He's
You
not
have
gonna
to.
watch it.
I'm
You
watching
have
that
to.
Gunner 100%. I am. I'm like
You will?
fully
Okay.
that's how much I like Cyberpunk right now. It's like the minute I end this
He's
game,
gonna
I'm
watch
watching
an
that Gunner.
anime. Oh
I'm
shit.
watching an anime. Like this is
Dude,
it got me.
it's
You're getting him on, Bryce.
look, you gotta take it from me, Fusion. I fucking hated Cyberpunk at launch, and I still watched that anime, and I was like, damn, this is fire.
Like that's how far.
Oh,
Like I'm thinking like this. You know I'm in love with this game. When that update announcement dropped, I'll probably beat the game when that update comes out, and I'm like, I'm keeping it installed, and I'm going back. I'm going back just to explore it and see what they added.
you
And
know,
it's like I don't do that in video games usually.
no, you know what? You know how much I knew you were in love with the update. The news roundup, you put the freaking update in news roundup, but you didn't put the GTA 6 reveal shit. I was like, what the fuck? Why do I have to do it? I woke up like 3 hours after the announcement.
And I will say, I know the game launched buggy as all crap and like everything else. I'm 60 hours in, 0 bugs, 0 crashes. So like at least the version I'm playing right
It's out
now,
of early access.
perfect. Yeah, it finally hit its mark. Like I have been playing 100% perfect. Like all the patches and everything they've spent the last 3 years doing, it worked. Believe it or not. Like believe it or not, I'm running like the game flawlessly. Like I'm having no issues.
I mean, I know how badly you want me to get to. I will get to Cyberpunk in my lifetime. I will go back to it. I don't
It
know.
could be 10 years from now. I'm not going to put a time restraint on you. I just like one.
Three
I just
lies
want
this
like.
whole episode, Wolf.
I mean, yeah, he could have but I just think
I'm
I
not
just
a
want there to be a
liar.
day where we're on the podcast and you're like, hey, I went back. Like we could be 35 years old. I just want to be like, hey, I went back.
Okay. I go back and I'm still like, what if I'm still negative? Then would you just like unfriend me? Am I done
I probably
with you?
would leave the podcast at that moment. Actually, like
Do my
that'd
own
be my
thing. Fuck
Joker
this place.
moment. Yeah. No,
Nah,
I understand why
I'll,
people won't like it. Like I 100%, I will. If you're going in for a specific like past game, like if you're going in for like the Skyrim Bethesda like RPG mechanics, you're not getting it here. You're 100% not getting it here. But I don't think that's what. I think they
I
just
feel like it was
marketed it
what it was
wrong
sold on.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that's
they
it.
I think they truly did market it wrong, and it feels. This is why I'm like. This is why I go back kind of to like the Witcher, like the next Witcher won't be that big because Cyberpunk 2077 feels so like linear in the way it's built, but it's still an open world game. It's like they only made it
Yeah.
open world because Witcher 3 was open world. In my mind, that's how I think of Cyberpunk, where I'm like, they only made this game open world because Witcher 3 was so important and it was open world. Like this game would be so much more close knit, and I feel like more people would call it like a masterclass if it was point A to point B on this like linearity scale.
I do want to
But
say a little nitpick, and this ties into The Witcher 3 a little bit. If you played The Witcher 3, you know that Ciri does at some point travel to the cyberpunk world. I'm upset that with
Whoa,
all these
spoilers.
updates, it's not spoilers.
It
I'm
is
upset that
spoilers.
within sort of semi-spoilers.
you,
I'm
it's
upset that if all these new updates and everything, Ciri she's not added to the game. Not
she
even a
didn't- she-
little like nod or cameo or like anything. You can't find anything related to her.
Hey, bro. But BB from Death Stranding's in there, so who cares?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's why I want to go back.
That's why he wants to go back. I don't know. It was just like my last thing was just like I'm falling. There was a time where I went back and I played the Witcher DLCs last year, and there was a time where I was like, man, for some reason it wasn't hit. Like Witcher 3 wasn't hit. It's in my top 3 favorite games of all time, and when I went back to that DLC, something wasn't hitting. And all of a sudden, there's a point in the DLC, I'm not going to spoil, but it's with Geralt, and it's a certain just moment where he has with another character. And I was sitting there, and I was like, wow, this is why I love this universe. I'm like, wow, these characters are so important to me. This is it. Like, all the memories came back from me playing Witcher 3 the first time. And there's moments in Cyberpunk that I finally have hit where I'm like, there's some side quests that I'll never forget. Like, there were multiple side quests in this game where I'm like, these are so memorable. And I would have been so upset at myself if after those first 6 hours I was like, I'm walking away from this game. Because I've done every side quest. I've done every yellow point on my mark where I'm like, there's some like meh ones, like every open world game has, but like there's a lot of them where I'm like, CD Projekt Red is so good at delivering like meaningful side content in their video games. And it's just been hitting super hard. So it's been awesome, to be honest. I'll stop my rant there. I said I wasn't going to talk long, and I went on for 10 minutes. So
Hey, that's exciting. You very much got me more interested in playing the game.
I was making
It
up for the
makes-
skip of last week.
Yeah, really. If it makes you feel better, I went from a 5 out of 10 enjoyment to like actually getting back to it to a 6. Maybe you can get me to a
That's one
7.
point.
One
That's one point. Metro system, that's a 7, bro.
Yeah, the only thing is right
Maybe
now
7.
I'm a little busy playing I'm playing GTA San Andreas still. Okay, guys, listen. Listen, okay, this is who I am as a person.
You can't keep getting away with this.
I have to. I have to. It is so fucking good. It has aged like a fine fucking wine. I love this game to death. I love the aesthetic, the way that they nail Los Santos, the fact that San Andreas is 3 cities: Los Santos, San Fierro, and Las Venturas, and each city feels so in depth, has its own vibe. San Fierro nails that San Francisco vibe. The way that the city is laid out with the like big ass hills. I don't know much about San Francisco, but like they do the straightaway, they do the Golden Gate Bridge. Everything just from an aesthetic standpoint is on point. Las Venturas has that gambling casino. It has that Las Vegas strip energy. I will say Las Venturas is definitely the least developed of all the cities. It feels like it was one of those things where, oh, well, we want to go to Las Vegas. So I feel like there could have been more in that regard. But even then, like, I think this game has been a blast. I will say, going for the platinum for the first time, there's some really fucking awful side content. There's a mission where there's a side thing where you have to use a train, deliver the freight train to all the different stops throughout the world, and it is the most just hold R2 for like 5 minutes until you get to the next station, and then just drop off the goods and then go to the next one. It's like, man, there is a lot of monotonous side content, very much just like open world filler stuff. But I'm also just, I mean, it reminds me the story of this game isn't really anything crazy, but it just reminds me of how incredible of a protagonist CJ is. He is so, he's just a witty guy. Like, I don't know how else to explain CJ. Like, I think one of my favorite moments in this game is one of the cops tells you, it's like, hey, I need you to kind of like snitch on this guy. And he's like, no, if there's one thing Grove Street taught me, I will never snitch. And it's like, oh, he's a district attorney. It's like, oh, for real? Okay, never mind. I'll do it. Like just little moments like that add so much personality to these characters and who they are. And like, granted, it is not nearly as developed as characters as like I think. I'm of the opinion that I think each Grand Theft Auto is better than the last. I think Vice City is better than 3, San Andreas is better than Vice City, and then 4 better than San Andreas, so on and so forth. But the way that they build upon them, like going through the series again, is reminding me of like this is why I love Rockstar is the worlds. They like the way you talk about like Fusion, how you talked about Cyberpunk, like you love CD Projekt for their writing and the way that they nail the aesthetic of their worlds. Why I love Rockstar isn't just like I love the writing of their games, but to me, why I love Rockstar is that they create a world and they're like, this is the real world. Like this is our universe, and they have advertisements, commercials, the radio, just like weird things like the Life Invader website in GTA 5 that was a real website that you could visit in real life that they just did for the hell of it. And it's just like that attention to detail of creating a universe and being like, yeah, this is the world that you're going to live in. And like, this is our reality. And I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I'm still playing through it. And I'm also, ladies and gentlemen, I have bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. One of the last people
You kept Nintendo afloat. You saved them.
They was out of the NPD, and I'm like, nope, I gotta bring it back. I saved the company. But but yeah, no, I finally got it because the DLC booster course pack finally finished. I was always of the opinion. I don't know if this is unpopular. Actually, it is unpopular. I just think Crash Team Racing is better than Mario Kart in every way, and I still kind of think that after playing through all 96 courses or so and like fucking around online. I kind of realized the amount of love I still have for Mario Kart. Like, there's still a lot of aspects of the franchise that I adore, but there are things that I dislike. I hate the items. I hate the items in Mario Kart so much. Call me a competitive Smash player. I'm the type of Smash player who I turn off items. I just think it's disruptive. I think it rewards the fact that Blue Shell exists. I think the Blue Shell is one of the worst items in gaming history because it's literally I get punished for playing well. Why is that a thing?
I think they need to increase the spawn rate of the horn for players on first, and then the blue shell will be balanced.
I mean, it's not even that. Like red shells, it's just I press a button, boom, you get hit by a red shell. Like that's ridiculous. Why a homing item? And there's no real.
You gotta have a skill to hold a banana.
I would say you need to hold bananas, dude.
Well, no, I hold bananas and I do the bananas thing, but sometimes I don't have bananas. I just get screwed over by RNG over my own skill. Like what I love about Crash.
Mario Kart does have some RNG.
Yeah, like what I love about Crash Team Racing.
Every Nintendo game.
True.
What I love about Crash Team Racing. What the fuck, man? Let me speak. What is this Nintendo hate? Okay, bro just had it. Okay, but no. What I love about Crash Team Racing is that it's purely skill. Like there is items, there is some RNG, but it is so negligible in the grand scheme of things. If you're first in Crash Team Racing, you're first because you got there legitimately and you did it. I don't think that's the case in Mario Kart half the time. I do think for the most part the skillful players do tend to get in first place, but I just feel like there's so much item RNG that it gets to the point of getting kind of ridiculous at points. And I don't know, like that's just the one thing about Mario Kart that I absolutely hate. But then the one thing that Mario Kart does better than any other racing game, it's just those tracks are beautiful, and the track design, the layouts, unreasonably like highly polished. Like one of my favorite tracks is Yoshi's Island, where it is just Yoshi's Island. Like it is the Super Nintendo game. It has the aesthetic. It nails everything about Yoshi's Island as a video game, and I absolutely love that track. And I love every Mario Kart track. I think majority of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks are very high quality. I think there are a few that are very weird. Some of the tour tracks are very much just like, oh, you're in Paris, but yeah, I mean, overall, I had an absolute blast going through all of Mario Kart 8, but I think most of my opinions are still very valid, where I'm just like, man, I really just wish items weren't a thing, or at least not as prominent.
You can turn them off.
Well, yeah, but that's like an offline mode. And it's not built around like having your items turned off. The game's built around having items. But yeah, that's everything I've been playing. Rozon is anti-Nintendo.
No, I actually. No, the sad thing is, I don't think I've ever played Crash Team Racing.
I mean, you don't
actually maybe
that's why the series is no longer around.
Was it old? Because I remember playing a very old racing Crash game, like on the PS2. Was it back
Crash Team Racing, Crash Nitro Kart, Crash Tag Team Racing? So it's probably Nitro Kart or Tag Team Racing.
Yeah, I was just saying, Nitro Kart sounds very familiar.
Yeah, Nitro
But
Kart
I've
is
never
okay.
played wasn't there the newer one?
Yeah, Nitro Fueled. That
Oh,
game is
okay.
phenomenal. They remade the newer one is just a remake of Crash Team Racing, which was the PS1 one, which was done by Naughty Dog, and I think they absolutely nailed it from a remake standpoint. Like everything, like the tracks, the layout, like they added DLC, new characters. Like I fucking loved all that, and I. And then they did a lot of microtransaction bullshit because Activision. But yeah, I mean, it's not crazy to say that you haven't played a. Do you like racing games, Fusion? I don't actually know.
That's not one of the genres I do not like that much, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
I'm the
if
same.
I'm gonna play the racing, kart racers are probably the one that I would play. And it's just
Same.
like I would only no, I don't know. That's a lie, probably. If I'm gonna play by myself, I prefer honestly like the motorsports, like Forza Motorsport or Gran Turismo, like that type of racing, even over like the Horizon games. But if I'm playing like, hey, friends, like if I'm gonna play with friends, it's always gonna be like kart racers. Like even that Disney
yeah.
kart racer that came out this year, like I was low key like I should play this with some friends.
It was actually pretty decent. I played it.
Yeah, it looked pretty fun, but I'm just like I would never ever in the history of my life sit there by myself and be like I'm gonna load up Mario Kart. Like I
Yeah,
just can't.
yeah. You just got me there.
Yeah, like
I
that
mean,
was weird.
listen, you gotta understand. I was
Here's the thing, though. If you want a racing game that doesn't have a kart racer that doesn't rely on items, then you check out Disney Racer because the items in there are pretty much don't do anything. They're very minimal.
I don't like Disney though. I like
Disney, the
Crash
Disney,
Bandicoot.
the Disney one have literally like a bunch of it was just full of Disney IP, right, man?
Yeah, it's just all Disney IPs, but the problem is it's microtransaction to hell.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
there
makes
it
sense.
is.
That makes sense. Disney, so they're small indie companies, so they didn't have enough money
Yeah,
to keep it afloat.
dude, they didn't have a $1 billion box office movie this year. They're struggling.
Oh.
But yeah, there was those Nickelodeon kart racer games I kind of wanted to check out. I heard those are actually pretty decent. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm the same as you, Fusion. I don't really like racing games that much, but kart racers are the ones that I enjoy. And I love Crash Team Racing. I love that game. But yeah, that's everything I've been playing. I talked a little more than I wanted to. Dark, what have you been playing?
So I finally, after Xeno and the Xeno series is a very big deal for me. After finally fucking long time of getting shit set up and all types of other things, I'm finally going through the games I missed. So I will be going through Xenogears, Xenosaga, Xenoblade X if I can get to that. But I started up Xenogears the other day. And this game has a reputation for played it that is one of the best JRPGs of all time. And after playing it for about 30 hours, I'm not done with this one. Do this. I can agree. This game's storytelling and writing. It's like it was ahead of its time. Where at the time period that this game came out, it wouldn't have been able to this wouldn't have. It was if they were able to remake it now, it'll never get remade. But if they were able to do it now, it'll be fucking fantastic. And its combat system is so unique and addicting to play that I'm surprised more JRPGs haven't tried it. It's fully turn-based, and the way that it works is that each character has points, so there's like 7 points in total, and it's not like AP points or anything. It's just points, and the face buttons they all correspond to a different attack. And what happens is that each face button corresponds to a different amount of points. So I think like this is on the PlayStation one, so like square is 2 points, cross is 3, triangle is 1, and the attacks they all combo into one another. So what ends up happening that you have these 7 points and you start spending them to do these combos, and it just works so well and it's a lot of fun. And different combos work better on different enemies. Fucking whatchamacallit? Each combo in each different whatchamacallit? Each combo in different positions they have like different animations and different effects. And the story is like I can't really get into the story without spoiling it. I'm not gonna spoil it even though the game's old as shit, but I can't even just begin to start describing it, but it holds up. It does a lot with religion, beliefs, what it means to live.
That's interesting.
That type of shit.
I like that stuff.
But this game is unfortunately flawed pretty heavily because Square Enix didn't give this team enough fucking money. So disc
They,
2,
they literally ran out of money. It's the wildest story.
so if you want to know the official story, this game was originally supposed to be Final Fantasy VII. They pitched this idea that it would be Final Fantasy VII, the Square Enix Remakes. Like, they seen the story of how this was like very religious and has a lot of themes. Yeah, we can't do that. So what they did is that they took the aspects that they liked from this game and made some. But they gave the team that made it a small budget and they're like, go try it out. When it came to disc 2, right, so the game plays like a normal JRPG of its time. When it comes to disc 2, what ends up happening is that your character will be sitting, there's like a flat image of your character sitting in a chair with a pendulum going back and forth. And it becomes a visual novel of text going down the street.
They ran out of
And
money.
then-
You gotta give them credit.
And
They
then
did something.
after, so then like after it reaches a certain point in the story through the text, it'll throw you into a dungeon. And you have a small little dungeon with a boss fight. And then it's back to the screen. But man,
That's
this game is
insane.
fucking, it's incredible. I really do recommend it. It's very expensive, this game, if you were to get it legit. You can get it very easily through other means. If you know, you know.
What do you mean if you get
Whoa,
legit?
whoa,
Are you
what
saying you're not
talking
legit?
about?
Look, if you know, you know. I ain't gonna
I'm gonna
say
pull it. So you're
I-
you're saying I should pull out the PS1?
Hey, Fusion,
you want.
how are you gonna play Mario Wonder? You said you were gonna play it through other means too, weren't you?
No, probably just not play it. I heard it was
Oh
actually
my-
kind of just meh. So I'll probably just skip it.
I hate how I'm in the only
something
podcast
special.
with Mario haters. That's what's insane to me.
We just know how to bait you. We're not haters.
You
if there
bait
is
me.
one, if there is
Sorry,
one
go
thing I
ahead,
want
Derek.
from people to get out of this, the Square's the whole situation with this game is like Square's never be able to make it unless they sell the IP to Nintendo. I want to see more games use this combat system because it's really addicting. Just chaining these
Well, I mean,
combos together. I
I
don't
think
know if
the-
any other game did it. From what I've seen, I haven't seen anyone else do this before. And you should look it up. It's
They have a
highly
strong-
addicting.
They have a strong partnership. I could see it. I mean, like
They don't.
do.
It's like it's
No,
weird.
wait. But they partnered in the past. Like Square and Nintendo partner all the time. Like I could very
Yeah, but to
easily see
sell
it.
Xenogears, I don't know.
I mean, the problem you need people to want to work on it. I don't know if anyone is that. willing
Takahashi,
to
no,
work on it.
Monolith would want to work on it. Like, if you want to know the story, this was originally planned to be. Well, there's two people. There's Takahashi, who was the person who trained fucking Nomura. So this is the type of guy we're dealing with.
This guy. No. You know what?
Yeah.
After what he did.
Yeah, if you want to know who trained Nomura to be the motherfucker he is, this guy. So he worked on, at the time, Square had 3 big series. They had Final Fantasy, they had Saga, and they had Dragon Quest. Wait, was it Dragon Quest? Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, so the Takahashi worked on Final Fantasy, and his wife to be at the time worked on Dragon Quest, or whatever the fuck the other game was. And anyways, they ended up coming together for this project, and this is how they met, ended up hooking up. And Square gave them 50 employees. And they're like, here's your little bit of money, your little employees, go make the game and have fun. The game it didn't sell that well whatsoever. But they were really determined with it.
I imagine. I
Yeah, at the
imagine.
at the time it didn't sell well whatsoever. They didn't sell well. But Takahashi and his wife, they hooked up, got married. They were like, we want to tell this story. So what ended up happening, the two of them together wrote this entire massive thing called Perfect Works, which is like a 6-part story. And each game was supposed to be a part. It's fucking insanity. So they left with the 50 people who built the game with them, but they were all on board. So they took 50 people, went to go form Monolith Soft, and they were like, okay, we can't use the Xenogears IP because Square. So they started working on a game called X. And then Bandai, they showed it to Bandai Namco, and Bandai's like, you know what? On the and Project X turned into Xenosaga, which is them like reattempting the story. They did a trilogy of that. It had highs and lows, and then eventually Nintendo ended up buying them. That's where they are now.
Yeah, they made a.
And they're
what was
still
that
telling the
franchise?
same fucking story.
They bought them and they started making what was it, Fire Emblem?
If only. I started working on Xenoblade. But at the end of the Xenoblade 3 expansion, this is gonna get into spoilers, but like not of the actual expansion, just what happened at the very end. The motherfucker found a way to connect Xenosaga 3's ending to Xenoblade 3's ending so that they line up at the same time, meaning that he can now continue the story that he had in Xenosaga in Xenoblade 4, which is fucking insanity.
You gotta get that Xenosaga collection.
That's why I do, but like everybody does believe that after that, without a doubt, they're gonna remaster or remake the games. Either or, that'd be fine.
So real quick, I looked it up. Apparently, Xenogears was a actual. Oh wait, no, hang on. Never mind.
Xenosaga 1 was a hit.
Yeah, Xenosaga
It
was
did
a
really
commercial
well.
success in Japan.
And then Xenosaga
Right.
2, it's bad.
Yeah, Xenogears hit 1 million copies worldwide by March 2003. That is like 5 years after it came out. Holy shit!
Yeah. Xenosaga
Yeah.
1 did really well, and they immediately greenlit. Xenosaga was supposed to be a 6-part series, and it got cut down to 3. The second one was a failure, but they were really determined to fix it. So in part 3, even though it didn't sell as well because of the failures of part 2, part 3 is highly regarded as like one of the best, up there with Xenogears.
Damn, that's exciting. Very happy for you, Mr. Xeno fanboy.
Yep.
Moon, how about you? What have you been playing?
Well, I'm just gonna keep it real short here because I really haven't been playing much. Tune into a slice of anime to figure out why. So I just started Alan Wake 2 after the podcast last week. We were all talking. I decided to just, say screw it. I'm gonna just play Alan Wake now. So I got that started. A couple hours in. I think I'm like 4 or 5 hours in now. And yeah, I can't really say much without going into spoilers, but to know where I
I think
am,
you'd like it from a writing perspective.
I definitely enjoying it from a writing perspective. Gameplay's all right. It's more Alan Wake, gotta flashlight some people and shoot them in the head.
Stupid flashlight. God, they could have just left that behind.
Yeah, but then it'd just be another Resident Evil clone.
Yeah, I'd rather that than have to fucking flashlight everything at this dumbass.
I will say the battery usage seems to be a lot more in this game than the last one.
I never ran out of batteries. Have you noticed? Have you?
I never run out, but I get really close a lot of the time. As soon as like the fight's over, I'm like, oh, look, a battery.
Yeah.
And I just got to the part where we can now officially choose between Alan's stories and Saga's stories. And I'm doing Saga right now. I just got past Coffee World. Wandered around that stupid amusement park for way too long looking for a screwdriver.
You got lost just like I did, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone got lost there. It's so easy to get lost.
Yeah, I got lost in the woods as Saga many times too. I get turned around really easily.
There was actually, not to throw you off, but at Coffee World, there was like, I ran into a glitch where the way I was supposed to go, there was something in the middle of it where I couldn't get past, and I thought that was just the way the game was made. So I was like, for 20 minutes trying to find ways to like go around this thing in the middle of the road. And at some point, I just reload the save. It wasn't there anymore. I was like, what? I spent 20 minutes trying to go around the thing that wasn't supposed to be there.
What also got me was like right after Coffee World where you're going chasing the cult members, and you got to do that puzzle looking for the triangles. I couldn't find that last one for the life of me for the longest time. And I don't know what divine force said, hey, go check the emails again. And I finally got my first clue into where the emails was. And then I was tricked because it said, look for the smiling coffee. And I'm like, okay, there's like a cutout of the coffee mascot right here. So I didn't see it on there. So I'm like, okay, I'll shoot it. Maybe I have to break it. It actually moved. I was surprised that the object actually moved when I shot it. I'm like, okay, so maybe it's behind it, and I shoot it, and it'll be behind the coffee guy. It wasn't. So I'm like, where the fuck is this thing? And then I finally went on the other side of the wall, and like, oh, there's another big coffee cup here, and there it was.
We got you. Remedy does awesome at like you were surprised at a move. Like Control, they did like Remedy has awesome like in-game physics where like you'll shoot things or like you'll run into a bookshelf and like things just fly. Like they're so good at their in-game physics.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm just like, Oh, okay. It's like it baited me. I'm like, oh, okay, so this thing moves. This is part of what I need to do. No. But yeah, that's about it. I haven't really started anything else. I'll just briefly mention that I did get into
No,
the
no, no. You can't say it. You
Suicide
can't say it.
Squad
You can't say
Alpha.
it. You can't
I
say
can
it.
say
You
I
can't
got
say
in.
it.
I can say
You
I
said
got
you
in.
That's fine. That's fine.
I say I got in.
I'm
I didn't
trying
play
not
it.
to get us banned. Not like yes, I just said like, listen, this is a new
If we get banned,
podcast. I
that's
can't have us
cred.
get screwed.
That's true.
That's true.
We
Hang
think-
on, actually, yeah. Why don't you tell us all about it?
The last thing, dude, the game looks real good, doesn't it? Visually
Yeah,
wise,
it does seem like it's running. Oh,
He's
well,
talking
it
about
was
Alan Wake 2,
very.
guys. For anyone
It
watching.
was
yeah, Alan Wake 2.
yeah. Alan Wake, yeah, definitely looks amazing. And
I'm
I've
so
joined the
I'm
live.
excited for you to see because you just got to the point where you're like you can switch between them, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, so I'm doing the first Saga part. I'll probably do Alan. I'll probably jump between them.
Yeah, in my
Aesthetic.
opinion, that is the best way to play. Is to switch. I know some people on this podcast doesn't.
Oh
believe
my
that, but
god, what is with you?
there's nothing wrong
Keep
with
my
that.
name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth.
No one would know it's you if you just didn't talk. So.
Well, because I already said it before. That's why. Listen, okay. The way I play games, this is just how I am. If you
Yeah,
give
that's
me
fine.
like, I am going to just like do everything. Like I will do all the things Alan does. If you give me two characters, oh, you're supposed to swap. Nope, I'm only doing this one guy first, and then I'll do the other guy. And then I got
Yeah.
told I was playing the game wrong. So I'm just like, I can't take it anymore. But yeah, and
that's
I
about
think you're
it.
gonna
And
enjoy it.
but I'll now mention that Alan Wake 2 was supposed to be my last like 2023 contender for my list for like our award show at the end of the year. But now Xbox decided out of nowhere drop Revenant 2 on Game Pass. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll
God damn it, I
put
gotta
that in
jump
there.
on.
So I'm gonna see
Ah.
if I can beat Alan Wake 2 here in the next like a week or so, and then hopefully try to get through Remnant 2 by the end.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a very interesting Soggy's discussion award show. So I hope you guys are very excited for that one. But I
Tune
think
in
we're
at the end of the year.
I think we're pretty much done. This is a bit longer than we expected, but hey, we had a lot of fun. You know, good times all around. If you guys enjoyed, oh wait, Moon, you do the outro.
Hey, you already started, but you might as well finish it.
Okay, yeah, okay. If you guys enjoyed this episode of a Slice of Gaming podcast, please give us a like. We're brand new. Any type of support helps us out. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Rest in Peace, and Audible. Also, follow us on Twitter, Slice of Gaming over on there, and also check us out on Slice of Anime. You know, that's our sister show. Very good show over there as well. But yeah, we're very excited. It's going to be a good Game Awards week next week. GTA 6 trailer. I cannot wait. And I think that's all. Say goodbye, everybody.
Good
Goodbye.
night.
Bye.
Don't let the shadow people get you. Keep a flashlight nearby.